Hey folks, Jeff of World Class Bullshitters here. Just wanted to let you know about Incarnate Studios. You haven't heard of them? Well, they help sponsor the show and keep us afloat. They make really great t-shirts, like Shitbusters, which is the official protest shirt of the 2016 farce. They also got Donald Trump, blow hard, and Hillary Clinton, blow hard too, blow harder. Poo and politics not your thing? They got shirts from video games, TV shows, movies, horror, and the best part is, they add new shirts twice a week, so keep checking back to see what's coming next. IncarnateStudios.com. And don't forget the hyphen.
Dion, I had this terrible nightmare. You were forced to give handjobs to all of our new subscribers and your arm fell off. Then you got depressed and died. Hillary tried to take your place, but it didn't work. I had to adopt your kid, the channel slowly died, and Phil succumbed to diabetes.
I'm having a hard time processing Hillary took my place and then you adopted my kid. I'm struggling with that part.
But the arm falling off from too many handjobs is cool?
I feel like that's a very natural sacrifice for what we're trying to do. So yeah, no, I think that's a good thing.
Well, speaking of handjobs, Dion, a listener is requesting one. Anna B has messaged us a few times, so you should hit her up on Twitter and work it out.
And you said Anna B, so are we talking like Anna, like I'm a chick from Russia and I got a lot of social problems with my friends? Or are we talking like Anna, the biker from Annapolis who probably killed like 3 people on the way over to listen to the show?
Well, she follows us on Twitter, and she seems like a very nice person, so she might be in between one of those two.
You said she, so that's all I need to know, man. That's all I need to know. You said she, we're good to go.
Well, with that being said, welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me is the black guy your parents are okay with, Dion Green.
Baby, the man with the plan and the original tan, and yes, your mom loves me because I'm probably fingering her on the side.
Up next is your friendly neighborhood Samoan, Nick Udom.
What's up, everybody?
And finally, trigger warning, it's Dustin McNeese.
Dion's a fan of Melissa McCarthy. That makes him a faggot.
I knew that was going to fucking happen. I fucking knew. I was surprised he didn't bring it up in the last episode. I was like, I'm kind of disappointed, but you have met my expectations and surpassed them, you son of a bitch.
No, thank you. I'm a good guy. Wait till you're here before I insult you.
Well, speaking of faggots, remember last week when I told you that we wouldn't be talking about Ghostbusters anymore?
Yes.
I lied. Or more correctly, I was unaware that the shitstorm would continue, and I'd wanted to inform the listeners on the subject. So with that being said, this is episode 33, and before we get into tonight's festivities, I just want to thank the 1,630 new subscribers. And I want to give a special shout-out to Oggs for President. Woo! So thank you, Oggs. So, we're a few days removed since the day all integrity in film died, Ghostbusters being released, and miraculously the film failed. Nick, what's it sitting at right now?
As of right now, as of July 20th, 2016, it is $61,498,229.
Now, if any of us was given that amount of money, we'd be shitting our pants.
Hookers and blow.
Yeah, we'd all be broke in a week. But when your movie reportedly cost $245 million with marketing, and debuted at number 2, there's no way you're going to beat Star Trek and Lights Out and Ice Age. So, Ghostbusters is fucking dead.
Is it? Because I heard some nasty rumor that a top executive at Sony has said that they're going to do a sequel.
I've heard that too.
Well,
yeah, I heard the exact same thing.
I have heard that as well, but remember, Sony once announced Spider-Man 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, the all-female Spider-Man team-up movie, the Aunt May spy movie. Sony has a track record of pure shit. Like, for as good as companies like Paramount have been, or Warner Brothers, or other companies, you know, Sony's always shitty. And Sony's always like that broke... Okay, every movie studio is like a millionaire. And Sony's like that new millionaire who's kind of scrappy and trying to show, like, hey, guys, I got this great idea, and I'm just like you. But he fails miserably every time.
Well,
I mean, that's not exactly untrue.
I don't think I can handle another Ghostbusters build up because that drained me.
I don't think it'll ever
that
happen
was,
again that way.
It's quite draining. It really was.
I mean, I think we do have to acknowledge that Ghostbusters was definitely, I don't want to say lightning in a bottle, but it was this abnormal thing where, I mean, it was definitely the most divisive movie in a long fucking time. And that's not exactly a bad thing at all.
I've never seen a movie be marketed strictly on its politics, ever.
Well, they didn't have anything else to really market it on. They fucked up immediately. Because if you remember, the first trailer was, 4 scientists or something like that was like the beginning wording. And it's like there were never 4 scientists ever. It was 3 scientists and one guy who needed a job.
Yeah, and then you had all the thumbs down, and then they would delete the positive critiques of that, so it would just sound like a bunch of assholes ripping on it, which wasn't the case.
Yeah, and they went with the whole feminist thing, which, I mean, I guess worked for them to a point.
Yeah, but the people that are going to support...
Did it?
I don't think so.
Honestly, I'm kind of with Jeff on this one, and everyone knows I'm definitely the resident SJW or whatever, but, I mean, it fucking hurt the movie more than it helped it.
The proper word is faggot.
I think faggot is reserved for the dude who can't stop looking at dicks. So if we're gonna go that route, there's one candidate on that ticket, and motherfucker, we all know who that is.
I would rather look at dicks than fat chicks. That's just my personal philosophy.
You are. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Why the fuck you lying?
I have watched midget porn, paraplegic porn, cheerleaders hold each other down and piss on each other, a donkey show when I was 12, but there is one porn I will not touch, and that is BBW.
Unless we're at a strip club, Dustin.
You
not
not
that.
talk about that again.
But if you start a response with "I have watched midget porn," fucking fat girl porn is not that far down the street, buddy.
Oh, that's about 400 pounds down the street.
Well, look, this is really going to be the final nail in the Ghostbusters coffin for us. Ghostbusters is not opening in China. These other markets that they're going to talk about, like any defender online that says, but it's still going to open in this market, it's going to open in Russia. Whoop-de-doo, it's fucking Russia. Who gives a shit?
Well, also out of the 61 million.
Yeah.
Sorry. The total worldwide was 79 million. 18 million of that was foreign money, which is 22.8%.
Well, it's not going to do much more. I was reading an article that said all the Ice Age movies have progressively made more money in Russia every time one comes out. And lo and behold, Ice Age 5 comes out, so...
That's because it's always cold in Russia.
True.
Plus, Russia has a really adverse effect. So even if a movie is losing, as far as sequels, losing money in America, it'll go up overseas because, they don't know any better. They're dumb. And, even because I know Ice Age, not lost money, but it gained less money with the second and the third one or something like that.
Well, to be fair,
it's gone.
But to be fair, so has Star Wars. The original Star Wars came out and made a bunch of money. Empire made less. Then Jedi made a little more. So it's just the law of diminishing returns. Every franchise has it. Even the Avengers.
Right. I mean, but then as far as the Nolan Batman movies, Dark Knight made way more than Batman Begins.
Yes, but then Dark Knight Rises made less.
Right, but we're saying congruently as a series.
That's fine. I'm just saying The Dark Knight only made a bunch of money because Heath Ledger died.
That's very true.
And it had a second release, too. That's the thing nobody remembers. That shit came back out around Oscar season. It came out in July, and then it came right back out in January again. And that's when it crossed over that $1 billion mark.
Didn't the first Star Wars have a second release, too?
That was a different time. That was before home video was a common thing. Every movie had multiple releases and shit like that. So that'd be like if all of a sudden Captain America Civil War came out around Christmas again. Like, in this day and age when you have Blu-ray, DVD, digital downloads, that's kind of an odd choice to bring a movie back out. The only one that could do it successfully would be Deadpool as a joke.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
I'm just saying, as far as theatrical, I mean, it's still kind of a, even with the addition with the technology as far as movies, that's still a big deal to bring a movie back, in theaters. And even back then, even though it wasn't as accessible as far as home, Star Wars did come back.
Oh, of course. I'm not denying that.
I think what it boils down to is Melissa McCarthy's fat, Dion's a retard, and Ghostbusters is dead. So.
And Dustin likes dicks. As long as we make sure that that's part of that fucking sequel.
Well, you're one of those fucking hippies. You should be all about that.
Well, look it. Tonight's show is not about Ghostbusters anymore. It's about the fact that we're halfway through the year of 2016 officially, and we got a lot of movies to talk about. Some were good, most were average, and a few were really terrible. But before we get into that, let's talk about some news, because next week it's irrelevant. Dustin, you're up first.
Let's hope next week it's irrelevant. Pokemon Go.
Oh.
Now, fans, I know a lot of you play it because whatever. So I'm not going to really dog on it. So let's just talk about some positives here. A lot of people hear about people trespassing and coming on their yards and weird shit like that. But it's actually increasing some sales by as much as 50% for local businesses across the country. You got coffee shops, little boutiques and stuff like that that were randomly chosen as gyms that are reporting seeing huge increases in profits. So that's a good thing. Another Pokemon Go story. A man on Reddit has claimed and proven that he has caught all 142 available Pokemon in his western region there. The only ones he hasn't caught are Mewtwo, Ditto, and the 3 legendary birds because those are unavailable, as well as Tauros, Mr. Mime, Kangaskhan, and Farfetch'd because those are region-specific to Europe, other parts of the U.S., etc. He's walked over 200 miles and caught over 4,600 Pokemon to get to this point. His highest is a 2,619 CP Dragonite, whatever the fuck that means. Pokemon, for being a Japanese franchise, surprisingly has yet to be released in Japan. That was supposed to happen today, but it's been moved back. Supposedly to tomorrow, it could be later. That's because the company that made Pokemon Go, which isn't Nintendo, by the way, despite Nintendo stock jumping up 70% in the past few weeks, they delayed it because they think once they open it to the Japanese market, their servers are going to crash. So if that happens, blame the Japanese Hiroshima and Nagasaki 2.0. Also, there's a live-action Pokemon movie coming out called Detective Pokemon. It's been greenlit by Legendary Pictures, and production is scheduled to begin sometime next year. No official release date as of yet.
Just when I thought Hollywood couldn't get any dumber, they prove me right and make a Detective Pikachu movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Pokemon say their own names, and that's the only word they know. They go Pika Pika, Char Char. 2 hours of that shit, I don't fucking see it. And you know every motherfucker that's like 30 years old is going to be like, oh my god, I love Pokemon, I'm going to go see this movie. And it's going to be the dumbest piece of shit, but it's going to make $1 trillion because idiots are going to be like, oh, nostalgia, I got to go see it. My life sucks.
Dude, there are going to be so many pedophiles in that theater, it's going to be ridiculous.
Dustin, you had a question for me, sir?
I have a question. Detective Pikachu, the movie, or Ghostbusters 2?
Oh my god, it's like burning my eyes out or cutting my dick off. I don't want to do either. In all honesty, I would have to just remove myself from Facebook just because you got assholes that are going to support the sequel or assholes that are going to not stop talking about Pokemon. So I'm just going to pick Pokemon because there was a point in time where I liked Pokemon. I've never liked Melissa McCarthy.
Thank you. Up next, we have Google Play is offering a new feature for anyone who buys comic books through their app. It's called Bubble Zoom, and what it does is it allows you to enhance the word bubbles on a panel so it's easier to read on your small-ass phones. Why the fuck you're reading comics on your phone anyway, you fucking douchebag? But there's an app available now, and right now they're also offering 50% off select Marvel and DC titles. And because it's Comic-Con this week, if you use the code SDCC2016 on the Google Play comic app, you'll get 50% off select titles. So there's that. Any of you guys read on your phones?
There's a free website I've accessed when I'm bored, but normally I'll read it on my computer. Sometimes I'll read it on my TV because I have a 42-inch TV, so a comic book page on a 42-inch TV looks sweet. But 99 times out of 100, I'm reading a physical comic book because that's the way it was meant to be.
You need that tangibility. You need the tactile sensation.
And you know, I'm a purist. I prefer single issues over trades, so
right.
I go even further with that shit. I love the ads, the fucking letters columns. It's like a little time capsule. And it's kind of creepy because you can go back and read old comic books and they print everyone's full address. So I'm tempted to send people letters and be like, did you know that in June of 1968, someone from this address wrote a letter to Marvel Comics and it got published? I have your address now. Thank you. Just freak them out.
That'd be horrible. That'd be so weird. So weird.
I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to send him a t-shirt.
There you go. There you go. That's what exactly you should do. That's exactly what you should do.
What kind of platforms do you guys play your console games on?
PlayStation 4.
PlayStation 4.
Xbox.
All right.
Dan, what'd you mumble?
I said PlayStation 4, motherfucker.
All right. Well, Rocket League. Have you guys heard of it?
I have it. I think.
No.
Vaguely.
Nope.
Well, Rocket League is looking to become the first game to be cross-platform between Xbox, Windows computers, and PlayStation 4 games. Microsoft has given the go-ahead to the developer. The only thing holding it up is Sony, which I say good for them, because this reeks of desperation to me. This reeks of Microsoft knowing that they're behind in the console wars, going, fuck it, let's just share everything, man. And then they put Sony in a position where either Sony makes consoles obsolete, because that's what would happen if everything's cross-platform, right? Like, what's the need for multiple consoles? Or it makes Sony look like assholes for not accepting the olive branch. So I'm just curious what you guys think. Do you think cross-platforming should be a thing, or should things be kept separate to each console?
I like the idea of cross-platforming only because, okay, for wrestling games, for example, a lot of times people will make really awesome created wrestlers on Xbox, and then they suck on PlayStation. But that's kind of the only purpose I would use it for. So if we're gonna only have gains, like you only get this and this and this, and that's fine. But if other like benefits are taken away from cross-platforming, like certain features of the PlayStation Network are regressed or something like that, then I'm not for it at all. So it's either all positives, no negatives, or nothing at all.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a crazy stance. I mean, everyone wants all positives. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think it's at this point the future of where we're going with multiplayer as far as cross-platforming. I mean, especially with, like you said, Microsoft's trying to get back in the game, especially seeing as how they've tried to fuck up almost everything along the way, especially with where Xbox One is gone. But especially with games that are on multiple platforms, a lot of people, someone that's playing a PS4 wants to play with someone that's on Xbox One. And, a game like this, that's the door that's going to open Pandora's box, and even with some of the bad, I think there's going to be a lot more good that outweighs that. So I think, it's where it's going.
Well, I want you to think about the phrase you use, Pandora's box. I mean, that's not a good thing to happen, right? Pandora's box is an analogy that once bad shit starts, then it's just like a shitstorm. I think I like having PS4s separate from Xboxes. If I wanted both, I would have bought both. And I think that this is just going to disintegrate, I guess, the market in a sense, because, what's the point of buying separate ones at that point?
I agree with you 100%.
But there's already only, two major platformers. I mean, as far as you wanting to have things that are specifically to one platform, there's only two. And even so, like I said, there are people that want to play, they're on one platform, want to play with people that, someone's with a PS4 wants to play with someone that's with an Xbox, especially with someone like me. I've had such a good track record with Sony, I'm not going to go and buy an Xbox One, to play with a friend of mine. And even so, as far as opening the pool, you have one game instead of having two separate, we got to have something for PS4 players, we got to have something for Xbox One players, just make it one giant pool. And that's a bunch of players in one space that you can have as far as interacting and playing with one another.
I think if this was a serious gesture, though, they wouldn't use Rocket League, a piece of shit free-to-play game. They would do it Madden or something big. Like if this was.
But they're testing it. They're testing it. What else are they going to use it on? Call of Duty?
Yeah, do it on Call of Duty.
No, definitely. Because imagine that. Imagine them doing it on Call of Duty, and like everybody can play regardless of console. That would be amazing. It would just be explosive, and it would be probably one of the best things to ever happen.
But if they were going to do that, they would have done that with the PS3, Xbox 360 generation. At this point,
Why do you say that though? What relevance does that actually have? Just because they could have, the idea doesn't matter. Like, the idea didn't come to them yet, or neither of them were desperate enough. Now Microsoft's fucking, half of what Sony is.
That's true.
Right. No, I agree with that. But, as far as the giant monster that Call of Duty is now, you're not going to risk a single generation of let's just do it at one time when you can test it on some, small ass game that no one's really going to pay that much attention to if it fucks up.
But what would you be risking? Because we've all played online games. Hell, we've all played online Call of Duty. You don't know it. All you do is you see a player running around a screen. You wouldn't know if they're on Xbox. You wouldn't know if they're on PlayStation. I just don't.
The amount of players you would have with cross-platforming gaming would be way different than as opposed to just people. I mean, that would be like having, Halo be on both platforms.
Yeah, but
it'd be a shit ton of people. I mean,
Dion,
you don't want what happened with Diablo 3 to happen with your one game as far as putting it out for everyone on every platform. You don't want everything to just crash on the first try. You want to test it out.
I mean, there will be crashes with anything like that. There are going to be crashes. That's just how it should. That's how that shit works. Of course, there's going to be crashes. They can only prevent so much of that. But I mean, yeah,
people already have servers. Like Activision has a server up for Call of Duty.
Yeah, but I mean,
not for an infinite amount of people.
Yeah, but each game has like a limit of 16 players. So when you say all these players, like all that's going to happen is there's going to be a ton of people wanting to play in the lobby, and then it'll be able to open up multiple games quicker. Dustin, you and I used to play Halo all the time. The longer we played it, I mean, like duration of, like chronological time, like say from June to whatever, like less and less people played. It took longer and longer to start a game. If there were 1 million people available to play, you'd jump into a game a lot quicker.
Right, but Xbox players are idiots.
You can't change that. Hey, I don't interact with anybody on PlayStation because I don't online game anymore.
No, neither do I.
I think my generation was last generation for online gaming. I don't want to play with strangers. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to watch Netflix and play video games like once a week.
That's pretty much what I do now.
Can I jump back to one more Pokemon-related thing?
If we have to, yes.
On IncarnateStudios.com, don't forget the hyphen, there are 5 brand new exclusive Pokemon Go shirts. If you represent Pokemon Team Mystic, we got a shirt for you. Team Valor, Team Instinct, or just your straightforward Pokemon Go shirt, they're all there for you. And if you're the cynical type, like we are, there's a Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself shirt. Check out our sponsors at IncarnateStudios.com. Don't forget the hyphen.
Ooh, I like that. And word on the street is, if you click on their new accessories button, they have Pokemon Go phone cases available for Android and iPhone. So check it out.
Damn.
So what other news do we got this week?
Well, for one, I have, as far as people that are Games of Thrones fans, usually everyone's used to the fact that Games of Thrones comes out in the spring, usually around April. But for 2017, the next season's not going to come out until summer of 2017.
I'm suicidal now.
Oh, that's bad.
Actually, I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Neither have I.
It's a pretty goddamn great show.
Well, Dion likes it because it has incest.
He does have a twin sister.
Well, you would love it even more because it has a lot of naked dudes with their dicks out. So you may want to suck them or just stare at them. Either or.
Now, who's the only one on this podcast who said they watched the show?
Who's the only one on this podcast that admitted to only being able to stare at dicks?
I think Phil said it once or twice.
Well, okay, two.
And Brian, I got audio clips.
No, see, when your only backup is Brian and Phil, you have a problem.
Well, you see, they're not on the show tonight, so they have the problem.
we only have enough room for one dick looker at a time, and right now
they died on the way to KFC.
It's sad because Phil's KFC is my KFC.
That actually is kind of. I'm just like, oh, Jeff, I'm sorry.
No, I legitimately gave the show a fair shake. I bought the first season on Blu-ray when it was down to like $18, and the wife and I tried watching it. It just seemed poor graphics and weird incest.
Dustin, I'm with you. Joel bought it on Blu-ray, God, back in the day when season 1 was new. I watched it until the little boy got thrown out the window, or whenever Sean Bean got his head cut off.
Yeah, he climbs up to the tower and he looks in, and a brother's fucking his sister, and then the brother, I assume, dumps his load inside his sister and then pushes the kid out the window.
I love how that's the first thing you come to when you it's like the brothers with the sister. I assume the load came first. I'm just like, you know what, Dustin, you are made for shows like that. Because not only is it fantasy, I can imagine if you had a sister, I can imagine how many fucked up little Dustins would be running around right now.
Oh, I do have a sister.
And the number
How many
0.
fucked up? The night is young.
I mean, if you want me to fuck my sister, you pay the right price. I'll do whatever. But...
Oh shit!
All right, you got a PayPal account because I'm about to throw some funds in there right now.
I got one I want to watch.
Let's do a Patreon for this.
Yeah.
Go fund me. I'm not that expensive.
I don't think that
cheap,
being
how
expensive
cheap are you,
was
Dustin?
ever a concern. Dustin being expensive was never a concern. That no one has ever been like, damn, Dustin's gonna cost a lot of money.
So what you're saying is we can give him a gift card to Golden Corral and he'll be fine.
Old Country Buffet.
Dustin, tell the truth. If we had Old Country Buffet, where does that land on the list?
Can I use some of the food to shove up her orifices for extra lube?
Of course.
Gravy or mashed potatoes?
Oh, I was thinking mashed potatoes right up the asshole.
Oh, okay. This is a first. You know, we've talked about staring at dicks and weird porn with midgets, but never incest. So, hey, we're open-minded, right? You gotta be in the year 2016.
We don't
or else you're a
discriminate,
fucking
goddammit.
hate person. They're a hate monger, right?
See,
Right.
we're the true progressives of America, if you want to think about it.
The world.
If you don't support me fucking my sister with mashed potatoes, you're a racist, a homophobe, and a sexist.
And a
And a
feed.
communist.
And your father died in the Holocaust for nothing.
To be fair, my father was born 28 years after it ended, but we'll go with that.
My father was born in 1940, so think about that shit for a minute.
I did. That would make him old.
76.
I almost said
Well,
8.
not right now, seeing as how he's nothing six.
Oh!
What the hell's wrong with you?
I was going to make a dead dad joke as well about my dad, but I thought it would kill the mood too quick.
Yeah, you fuckers. We were on a good roll with that whole incest thing, and now you fucked it up.
Well, hey, we're still talking about fucking, just a different type.
Right.
Yeah, other news do you have? Jesus Christ.
Don't segue out of this, goddammit. You have a dad, and Jeff and I don't. Goddammit.
I don't
Anyway.
know.
Neither do I. Mine died 15 years ago.
Well, there. See, guys, chest bump, virtual chest bump.
Mine died
Bang.
27 years ago. I win.
No, fuck.
And I'm only 27 years old. Do the math. I love how Dion's just like, oh no. I've crossed the line.
If you're still here for the podcast, our next bit of news, they actually, and don't go back 15 seconds to try and figure out if I actually said this, they did come up with a pilot for a TV show modeled after the Lethal Weapon franchise, which they premiered the trailer. Not premiered.
What's Bermude? Is that a word?
Shut up. Premiered, thank you. Premiered the fucking trailer, at Comic-Con, which of course IGN gave it a 7 out of 10, starring Damon Wayans and some motherfucker from a different show playing Martin Riggs. The difference being Martin Riggs is from Texas and not from another department in the LAPD.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch this. As a new Lethal Weapon fan, I'm vehemently against it. Fuck you, Fox. I hope the show dies.
There's nothing in this world that makes me happier to hear you say the phrase, as a new Lethal Weapon fan, fuck you, Fox. And it makes me very happy.
Well, they deserve it.
I'll watch it. I'll give it about three episodes until it happened.
You're the problem, Nick.
Hey, I'm giving you 3 episodes. Okay, fine. Here's what I'll do. I will illegally torrent 3 episodes and watch it that way. Are you happy?
That's better, but I don't know if exactly that makes me respect you anymore.
I would rather live in a world where you didn't even know what happened in the show.
Well,
Plus, Damon Wayans as Roger Murtaugh. Say that. Let me say that again for a fact. Damon Wayans, the star of My Wife and Kids and I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, is Roger fucking Murtaugh.
Now, was he in Don't Be a Menace?
Damon wasn't. That was Marlon and Sean, I think.
And Keenan Ivory directed it.
Yep.
Okay.
So
That was a good movie when I was a kid because they had people fucking randomly at a party, and I remember that from my childhood.
oh my God, the mind of little Dustin would have been.
And that
insane.
was when he became.
I feel
sadistic.
like the mind. That's when it happened. I feel like the mind of Little Dustin is the set of The Cell, that movie with Jennifer Lopez.
And Vincent
That's the
D'Onofrio?
mind.
Oh my god!
Yes. That's the mind of Dustin McNeese as a child. So good luck sifting through that bullshit.
Well,
Why don't you go
at
back
least
to where you came from?
Oh, whoa.
at least you said the Cell, not Cell 2.
Yes, the first one. The second one, let's not go there.
I wasn't aware that there was a sequel, and I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
No one did.
All right, what other news we got, guys?
And then, of course, oh, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, you finish with your segment, and then I'll chime in with mine.
Okay, well, the big one, my favorite part of the news of the day, is that Grand Admiral Thrawn, a fan favorite of Star Wars fans, specifically those Star Wars fans that have read a lot of the expanded universe, Grand Admiral Thrawn is making his debut in Star Wars Rebels, which has a lot of people coming and getting hard all over the world.
Are you one of those people, Dion?
15 minutes ago, I had to change my pants, so yes.
Is that the theme of tonight's show? Just spontaneous ejaculations in your sister, on TV, your pants? Should I title the episode Coming?
Yes, please. I'd buy that for $1.
Don't do that because Netflix will block our video again.
You mean YouTube?
YouTube?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the show, Dut Dut.
It's a conspiracy theory, goddammit.
The Illuminati, man. We're on Netflix, man.
That'd actually be
Okay,
really sweet.
you can make fun of me all you want, but the Illuminati's real, okay?
Jay-Z.
That's all you motherfuckers want.
You know, it's not... To believe in the Illuminati is not as crazy as walking around with your cell phone and catching imaginary monsters because you're a fuck. Just saying.
No one got all scared when Candy Crush came out and everybody and their mom was talking and laughing. Oh my gosh, I'm a level 7 Candy Crusher. Pokemon ain't that much different.
Oh, yes, it is.
Let's just remember, folks, that we do have T-shirts available. We love Pokemon Go. We love you.
Well, I mean, it is different because Pokemon's attached to a previous property that everybody knows, and that now it's a VR experience, and it's made everybody crazy.
When's the Batman one coming out? Like, it can't come out soon enough. I'm ready to play as Batman.
Just punch random people that you see in the face on the street and be like, I just caught you, motherfucker.
I'm gonna hold triangle to interrogate you. Tell me where the Riddler is.
Where the fuck is Rachel, man?
Swear to me!
That's the only thing I don't
Zack
miss about
Snyder
Christmas.
Batman.
You want to be Zack Snyder Batman?
Yeah, you fucking brand people, you shoot them with guns, you light them on fire. Fuck, he's way cooler.
Yeah, no one fucking wanted that movie. Yeah, thanks for showing up tonight.
You're a murderer, essentially. All right, Nick. Sorry, this is Star Wars moment. And by the way, you can listen to my Star Wars rant from Monday. It's almost at 1,000 views. People seem to like it. Admiral Thrawn's cool. I read some of the books with him in it. I don't really care that much. So I'm not going to watch Star Wars Rebels ever. The Clone Wars was good. It was better than the prequel movies. I don't give a shit about Rebels. I don't really want to keep knowing what happens before Episode 4. Like, just leave the space between Episodes 3 and 4 alone. It's fucking done. Stop mining that.
Well, I mean,
We're
I
in
think
for a
that...
treat.
I mean, definitely. I mean, Rebels is specifically for the younger generation of Star Wars fans for sure. But even if you don't read the books, I mean, the character of Grand Admiral Thrawn is really fucking cool. It's a dude who's, you have the Emperor and then you have Grand Admiral Thrawn who didn't have the dark side of the Force to feed off of. So, I mean, it's a great character, especially as shitty as, and again, my whole thing was, this is further proof that Disney knows that what they had in Episode 7 was not good. That being said, they're going to bring in a character from a series that people enjoyed, specifically people that read the books, and they know that, hey, what we're coming up with isn't that good. We need help.
I think it was a big mistake to wipe out the entire expanded universe. Why not just weave a story? Like, oh, this doesn't work anymore, but that's gone, but this is here.
Well, because if they weaved a story with it and they got it slightly wrong, everybody would be up in arms about it anyway. So
No, they wouldn't. It's Star Wars. It's just a fucking brand at this point. It could be a guy taking a shit in space and 30 minutes of it falling through fucking atmosphere and landing. People are going to pay money to go see it. It says Star Wars.
That sounds like a Kubrick thing.
Well, the other good... Don't you dare bring Stanley into this.
I'm just saying, he would do that. No, he would do that. You would slowly see the shit come out, break off, and then fucking Earth's gravity would grab it, and it would fly through space. That's exactly what he would do for 90 minutes. You would see that shit go from asshole to fucking Earth for 90 minutes, and as long as he put his name on it, people would watch it.
It's somewhere in his garage.
Don't you dare put this Star Wars and Stanley Kubrick in the same sentence. I will find you, and I will fucking do what Dustin's going to do to his sister this weekend. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
But the question is, mashed potatoes right up your rectum.
But the question is, will you do it for free? That's the question.
But on your fucking enormous, horrendous comparison, I would pay someone to do it to you. How about that? I will pay someone. Let me find my Samoan brother, and I will violate him in the worst way.
Well, you're gonna be busy giving all these goddamn hand jobs, so I wouldn't worry about shoving anything up anyone's ass tonight.
Listen, as far as hand jobs, I'm gonna be on the edge. On the edge. Just give me one reason, Nick, you son of a bitch.
Bring it on!
This is weird. This is really weird.
Thank you guys for staying for this, though. Great fans.
Nick, talk about your news, and then we'll get moving with this show.
All right. Well, I got two Pokemon articles to kind of keep it going, since that seems to be the theme.
God damn.
I'm sorry. Of course, there's a Pokemon Go dating app. It's called Poke Dates. And
are you joking right now? That sounds so fake.
I am not joking. I wish I was joking. I want this to be a joke. I really do, but it isn't. And somebody's banking on this. Good for them for thinking of this. So what it is, you sign into the site. You answer a few questions. You share your schedule. You confirm your Poke date, and then you go catch them together.
That is the worst idea I've ever heard.
Or the best idea.
No, it's the worst. I've never heard of anything as stupid as that. Star Wars Episode 7 included.
Well, no, and the Lethal Weapon TV show.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon's been talked. I'm all for that. Now that I know this Pokemon thing exists. Hey, Damon Wayans, best Roger Murtaugh ever.
Don't you fucking dare, you son of a bitch.
So yeah, the first thing I thought is Damon Wayans is bald. Danny Glover had hair and a beard and a mustache. Damon Wayans is like a fucking cue ball. That is not.
The first thing's Dion's gonna need a lot of mashed potatoes for you and me and and everybody else.
And the funny thing was, especially since Jeff just started watching Lethal Weapon, when I fucking saw that the show was at Comic-Con, my whole thing was like, Murtaugh had a wife and kids, and I'm like, what if it's the same character from the show, My Wife and Kids, and it's just Damon Wayans losing his fucking shit, and fucking Gina from Martin is just getting pounded by Roger Murtaugh for the whole show. I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Oh God.
The thing about Lethal Weapon is they were slick. They had the same actors play the same roles through every film, so the little kids grew up through every movie. Now it's like
exactly
going to be fucking jarring. It doesn't need to happen. But back to the worst idea in the history of time, Pokemon dating app, for whatever reason exists. Nick, tell me more.
That's about it, honestly. That's it. That was the entire thing.
Next.
The next thing is, apparently, either yesterday or a couple days ago, Kick-Ass Torrents went down, down hard. The owner got, I guess, fucking SEAL Team 6'd, and they took him away in a helicopter, never to be seen again. And the sites went down with him, apparently.
Oh,
but what has happened is, another torrent site called ISO Hunt has created a mirror for the site. It's called kickasstorrents.website. That's literally what it's called. It is a mirror of the site. It has everything from the last year and a half. It's real small. I mean, get what you can now. God knows when it's going to go down. They also have a petition on the website for the owner of Kick-Ass Torrents as well. It's a, what is it, change.org petition you can sign, which, I mean, if you're a pirate, you shouldn't be signing a change.org form anyways, because then it gives you your location. I mean, it gives them your information, and they know you're a pirate, so probably not a good idea.
I heard about this story myself, and I don't torrent anything, but sucks to get arrested for torrenting.
I mean, I do, but I mean, I cover my ass. I have 18 people, 4 Tor accounts, and one server in Sweden that I use. Sorry.
Oh, well, it sucks. I guess, copyright shit's legit, but at the same time, they probably were torrenting the dumbest shit, like Samurai Cop.
Well, no, they had all kinds of, they had current shows and things like that, and that's the thing. And apparently the guy got caught in a really dumb way. The owner was running the Kick-Ass Torrent Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
Using his, I think, Apple email, and he also uses Apple email to buy iTunes songs legally, or to buy iTunes stuff legally. So he got caught buying something legally for owning a torrent site.
He should have just torrented it.
That's exactly what I said, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's going on too. Also, there was a trailer released for the live-action Futurama movie, which looks creepy as fuck.
Like a fake trailer, right?
No, it's a fan-made movie. That's feature length, but everything looked like, all the characters are what they look like, but in real life, and they look creepy as hell.
Well,
that show sucked.
I fucking love that show. That show was amazing.
It got garbage. It got old quick.
It did get a little old quick. The end was, it needed to end fast. But I mean, I still like the seasons that were on Comedy Central and stuff like that. I mean, I enjoyed it regardless. Yeah, I mean, not all of it was good, but I still loved it.
This week's debate comes by way of Dion, and if you want to suggest a topic for the debate, email us at worldclassbs@mail.com, the best mail.
.com.
Or type it in the comments section in all caps, because that's the only way I'll be able to see it. So, when thinking about film and real life in general, there's always a hero and a villain, a good guy and a bad guy. Tonight's debate is who is the best movie hero. The only rule is they cannot be from a comic book. So, who would like to go first?
Ooh, I wouldn't mind going first.
All right, it's your topic. You'll go first.
All right, well, for me, as far as best hero not being a comic character, obviously that kind of narrows it down to people who are normal human beings for me, namely those who don't necessarily adhere to the rules that normal people do, especially in given situations where they have to save their family or save their friends, what have you. The first person that came to mind for me, and I still agree with, is John Matrix from the movie Commando. Necessarily because, one, the movie is awesome. You can't tell if his daughter's name is Jenny or Chenny. Either or, it fucking works. And as far as movies up until that point, you kind of have a character that has to bend to the rules of the villains. And as far as John Matrix goes, the beginning of the movie, his daughter gets kidnapped. You have a guy sitting in his daughter's room, and he says, "Do what we say, or we'll kill her." And he goes, "Right." And the first thing he says goes, "Wrong," and shoots him in the fucking head. And from that point on, it's John Matrix doing what the fuck he has to do to get his daughter back. Whether it be jumping out of a fucking moving plane, hunting down the first guy that he told that he was going to kill last, killing him first, going out, finding some random half-black chick to be his partner in crime, beating up the police, having that same chick shoot up an armored car, flying all the way to bumfuck Latin America, and fucking every dude in the butt to get his daughter back. And on top of that, fighting a guy who literally has an orgasm because they're about to knife fight. Then he kills the dude with a pipe, and there's steam's coming out of the pipe, and he says, "Let off some steam." There's no one better than the man, the one, the only, John fucking Matrix.
That was very passionate.
Thank you.
Who can follow up that passion?
I wouldn't mind going next.
All right, Dustin. Shoot.
Leave it to dumbass Dion to pick Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, right? Yeah, bruh. Who do you have, bruh?
My pick is the T-800 from Terminator 2. Okay, you know. So in the first Terminator, we have the T-800 Terminator come back in time to kill Sarah Connor to prevent her from birthing the leader of the resistance movement that hopefully someday takes down Skynet. Terminator 2 kicks off with us seeing the Terminator return, and we assume he's going to be a bad guy, right? He's coming after Sarah again, or maybe John at this point if he's old enough. And lo and behold, he's actually their protector, and the bad guy he's fighting is made out of liquid fucking metal, the most advanced Terminator they have at that time. So you have Arnold Schwarzenegger go from the biggest bad guy in the late 80s for that genre to the biggest good guy. And he's this robot that serves as a father figure to a child without a dad, and I connected with that at my age. And he's just an all-around badass. He looks cool. He rides a motorcycle. The way he reloads his shotgun's fucking cool. He learns some humanity. The end when he sacrifices himself and gives the classic thumbs up. He is a staple of pop culture, something that your Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't, Dion.
Okay. Good try, buddy.
My good guy saves the fucking world.
I'm sorry. Your Arnold Schwarzenegger starts off trying to fucking shoot a guy point blank range, and a small child has to tell him, hey, this is what being human is. Don't kill people. I'm going to beat my girlfriend in 20 years. I'm sorry. My Arnold starts off, one, not teaching a little girl to beat her boyfriend, and two, he already starts off being the all-American fucking dad. They fucking feed a deer in the beginning of the movie. Not only that, but it's a young Alyssa Milano. So you have fucking Edward Furlong, who grows up to be this fucking ogre-looking son of a bitch with a weird haircut, and again, beats his girlfriend, which I'm sure you appreciate, as opposed to Alyssa Milano, who not only has large sweater puppets, but is a lot more likely for all of us to want to fuck. So I've won already.
For
Thanks.
hitting his girlfriend gave me a boost here, but yeah, no, fuck you. Fuck you. Mine is a Terminator. You get pissed because he tries terminating somebody, you're a fucking retard. And then
We said hero. Hero. Would you?
Interrupt, cocksucker.
Go on.
Oh god.
Mine's better.
Do you not even want to go? You just want to let these two fight it out?
Well, no.
Let's
Okay. Wait,
Go ahead,
Jeff,
Nick.
you want to go or should I go? Or should I go?
You follow up. Your guy's an 80s character, too. Fuck it.
Go figure these two basically the same guy. Basically the same motherfucker, just in a different rapper. Alright? I got John McClane, alright? Basically, he's got basic cop training and still saves the fucking world. Okay?
Is that your
Are you
argument?
Are you gonna
that's
elaborate? Or are you just gonna sit there with your fucking Samoan dick getting all hard? Number one, he accidentally falls into where he is. So why don't you go ahead and accidentally throw yourself out the window while the fucking adults are having a conversation, Nick?
And number two, he's got male pattern baldness.
Okay.
Male pattern baldness. That's for people like me, not fucking heroes.
Jason
I'm
Statham
not a
has
fucking hero. I got giant sweaty man
Jason
tits.
Statham is bald too.
Not to mention that
badass.
your fucking hero, you know who his partner is in this movie? Hey, Jeff, who's the partner? Spoiler alert, it's the fucking dad from Family Matters. Thank you, goodbye. Exit stage left. Thanks, Nick.
In the first one, all right? In the third one, he's got Samuel L. Jackson as his partner.
And he has Argyle, Dion.
Argyle, yes. Argyle.
The man who drives a limo in the back with a giant bear and listens to the same song for 4 hours.
Girl, you know I'm coming over. It's like, oh, you're the man, Argyle. You're the
I'm
man.
on the way to Vegas. You know what? Argyle is the true hero of that film. He stops the villain.
Plus, he goes against people who are way the fuck well more trained than he is, mercenaries and ex-military and all kinds of shit, and he still wins. He still wins. He doesn't have to be a fucking
John
robot
McClane is
or
a
an ex-commando.
He's
Do
a
what?
lying hypocrite. He wears a wife beater, but would never raise a fist to his wife. I don't buy that.
He does does scream at her and start fights with her when she's trying to be nice, so that's halfway there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't beat her, which makes him a better person, obviously.
But what he does do is he calls himself a bum. At least at the very much, even though Dustin with his hemorrhoid-ridden ass and his weird sense of morality, neither of our heroes would be like, she's the best thing that happened to a bum like me. No, motherfucker. They go out and they save the day.
Your character can't even string together a sentence that well, so I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. And also, why is T-800 Austrian? Why does he have an Austrian accent? Why did he come from the future with an Austrian accent?
If you watch the shitty sequel, he was programmed. You know what? It doesn't fucking matter. What fucking matters is this. My hero literally saved the whole fucking human race.
Well, here's the thing.
Dumbass Arnold Schwarzenegger. His little cunty ass daughter.
He had to be captured. He had to be captured and then reprogrammed by the humans in that time and then sent back. So
that's after not being a hero and fucking beating up a bunch of bikers and just randomly stabbing a dude in the back. Like, hey, I'm the Terminator. That whole scene was for you to be like, maybe he's not the good guy. At least with my hero, from the fucking jump. You know, this is the good guy. He feeds deer. He gives his daughter peanut butter sandwiches, and he kills the motherfucker from the Warriors.
He doesn't talk in the first few minutes because if he talks, nobody's gonna fucking understand him.
I'm sorry, Leon, if you spoon-fed to you, you fucking jackass.
It's called watching a movie, you son of a bitch.
The whole point of my character is
that guy doesn't speak English.
To being more human than human. He has a character arc, actually. He goes from cold blooded. Well, I mean, he's got a hot wife and good.
How can he be more human than human when he gets shot and doesn't die?
Because he's the only one who truly sacrifices himself for the better good.
And then he admits that he's not fucking human.
And he has to get sent back again in part 3 and do it all over again.
Good job, son of a bitch. You fucked up the first time. You saved Edward Furlong. Now we're all fucked.
Isn't he a different model in number 3, though?
Yeah, I don't remember what the model
is.
Is.
Like a T-101 or something?
No, he's like a 101, I think.
No, he's a T-801 is what he is. An 801.
I knew it was like some slight variation, and it was shittier.
Well, I mean, that's the only ones that the dumb humans in the future catch and reprogram. So that's it.
Oh.
That's all. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. Because they can't catch really advanced ones that have liquid metal or that are liquid metal and a robot at the same time. So that's it.
Well, I don't know if I should even try to go because shit, those arguments were really strong. Not for their characters, but at each other. And I don't know if I can handle that as well as the heat tonight. So I'll try though. So the first thing I asked myself was, what is a hero? Well, according to Webster's dictionary, a hero is a person, typically a man, who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Initially, I had a lot of trouble deciding tonight's hero for the debate, but as I was watching Beverly Hills Cop 2 and heard Gilbert Gottfried say, it's like a James Bond thing, my answer became obviously clear. So instead of debating if I should pick Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, I'm going with the best, longest-lasting character in film, James Bond. 007 fits all the qualities of a hero as listed above. He's incredibly courageous. 007 never backs down from a fight. Every day is putting his neck on the line for Queen and country, but he never chickens out. His job deals in death, but it doesn't deter him from signing up. He knew what he was getting into, but still went through with it. His outstanding achievements are well documented within the films, from single-handedly saving the world from nuclear destruction to fighting a media mogul. James Bond's done it all. He's an incredibly noble character, too. He may not have a family he's fighting for, but he's fighting for a greater cause in every mission. He's honorable. His word is his bond, and the sacrifices he makes for the mission are admirable. In License to Kill, he swears to avenge the death of his friend's wife and goes as far as getting fired to make sure he achieves that goal. In GoldenEye, he wants to avenge a fallen comrade. If Bond knows he fucked up somewhere along the way, he wants to make it right. His well-being comes second when it's all on the line. He also served in the Royal Navy, so with his nobility comes a level of discipline and a sense of duty. He was promoted to the rank of commander, so you know he had to do something right along the way. Based on definition alone, James Bond ticks every box in the checklist of what it means to be a hero. But he's also incredibly cool. He's got fast cars, faster women, money, a jetpack. He doesn't take shit from anybody, eats the best food, wears the coolest clothes. He's proficient in every form of combat, a great marksman, and a great sense of humor that is second to none. James Bond for the win.
I would agree with you on every count except for one.
What's that?
He's not American, so he's disqualified. I'm so sorry.
Yours is a robot.
Yeah, yours is a robot.
Yeah, America doesn't exist, bro.
In America.
Yeah, but he's still a robot from an era where America does not exist.
And James Bond saved America in Goldfinger and Thunderball.
Well, that and James Bond is a fucking alcoholic, with a fucking drug problem. If he was sober for 2
now
hours,
you're crossing the line. I was with you with the alcoholic, but you got a problem with his drug use?
Of course I do, because he's not really sober the whole time. So if he was sober for 2 hours and you told him what he did, he'd be like, "Are you fucking serious? I did that?"
McClane has an alcohol problem too. Look at part 3, my friend. He's so drunk on the job they have to fucking take him into headquarters to sober him up to tell him, "Hey, the city's in danger."
But he sobers up. He sobers up, and that's what matters. He sobers up.
Bond has never been in a movie going, "I can't do this mission. I'm too drunk."
But he's always drinking and always doing drugs constantly.
James Bond doesn't do drugs in any movie. I'll give you the drinking every fucking 5 minutes. I'll give you that. But in no film does James Bond do drugs. Smoke cigarettes, doesn't do drugs.
Jesse, Jeff, I was on your side thinking he did drugs. Now you're saying he doesn't. Fuck you.
I'm sorry, I missed that whole thing.
But even then, he's a horrible spy. He's always like going up to the bad guy and he's like, "Yo, I'm James Bond. Fuck with me."
Hey, guess
he's
what?
a horrible spy.
He wins every time.
Yeah, and John McClane has a freaking proxy name. "Hey, I'm John McClane. I killed your brother. Here's Samuel Jackson.
John McClane is less trained than James Bond is, and does a better job.
How does McClane do a better job? He goes to Russia on vacation and almost dies, and has to have Jai Courtney save his ass. And
not only that.
Hey, that's his son. Of course his son's going to save his dad's life. I mean, come on.
James Bond isn't weighed down by a fucking family. And
nobody would marry him. Who the fuck would want to marry
loser
Bond?
James Bond does the rescue.
Bond? Come on.
He got married. She died.
Obviously.
Thank you.
I mean,
that automatically, not only he gets a lot of people that he works with fucking killed. My guy doesn't. You don't see him drink. You don't see him smoke. The one person that he cares about, he goes and saves. And then
because you know what? He went fucking Vietnam one day and killed his wife. That's what happened.
That's not in the movies. That doesn't count, sir.
But you acknowledge it could happen, right?
No, because he feeds deer. Any man that feeds a deer with his bare hands doesn't kill his white woman.
He probably took his PTSD medication that day and was fine.
His last name is Matrix, number 1. Way better than fucking McClane. And then 2, he has no distraction. He doesn't have to worry about sex. He doesn't have to worry about, I'm a machine. I have to worry about becoming human. He just has, it's my daughter. I'm going to go save her.
Your character's concerned about wearing a thong and walking on a fucking beach as opposed to getting laid.
And he wins, son. And he fucking wins.
Because my guy fought a liquid metal robot that can shapeshift into your loved ones. What the fuck bad guys do you guys fight against?
After he got the living shit beat out of him. He won because a chick who happened to have a twin sister and an ugly-ass little boy distracted the shit out of him. Not to mention, like I said, he lost an arm. He got his head crushed by a fucking beam. He got almost ran over by a truck. The only reason he's even in the end of the movie is because he's a robot. He wins by accident.
You think you're fucking banana hammock wearing Arnold Schwarzenegger would stand a chance against a team? What the fuck? You're named after a goddamn shitty Keanu Reeves movie. Fuck you.
You're about 14 years too early, Dustin. Take that argument back.
Get out of here.
Yeah, but Keon, you mentioned about like all these handicaps that the Terminator fights through and still wins. John Matrix doesn't do very much. He fights in a shopping mall. He beats up the little dude from the Warriors and throws him off the side of a mountain. The only magical thing he does is he takes a wrecked Porsche and makes it not wrecked in the next scene. That's the only magical thing he does. He gets captured by the fucking police, and you know what? Radon Chong shoots a fucking rocket at a truck and saves his ass. And the only other fight that he really has any difficulty with is when he's fighting Bill Dukes, and then Bill Dukes trips and falls and gets stabbed in the chest. He wins by accident. So there you go. Your Arnold Schwarzenegger wins by accident too.
Did he or did he not defeat an entire army by himself. He got fucking
James
hit
Bond
in the
did
guts.
it multiple times. Watch the opening at Goldeneye.
Oh, I'm
he
sorry,
Got in,
getting-
he got out, he blew up everybody, and he flies the fuck away. What did John Matrix do? Oh, he had to have some woman fly him to the fucking island to save his daughter. What did James Bond do? He rode a fucking motorcycle down a fucking runway, off a cliff, skydived into the fucking airplane, and took off.
I'm sorry, that's after getting kidnapped. Not after.
He didn't get
Before,
kidnapped.
He got kidnapped and trapped by the North Koreans, and the only reason
That's
he
Die
escaped.
Another Day. That's another movie. I'm still talking about Goldeneye.
Well, that's part of the character arc.
That's
he
why.
got saved by a shitty ass Madonna song, and he had to team up with an even shittier Halle Berry character who was the worst NSA agent in the history of the motherfucking NSA. And I don't even like the NSA. Not to mention that you fought a
James
What?
Bond carry her ass. When her ass was kidnapped by Mr. Kill, who saves her? James Bond. When anybody else gets kidnapped in these movies, who saves him? James Bond. He's the only dude that has his shit together in all these movies. His ass isn't dependent upon.
He only saves you if you have a vagina and boobs. That's it. Like,
and you know, and he'll fuck you and then he'll dump you, like Miss Taro in the first movie. She was
That's not a hero.
was an
That's not
agent.
my hero.
It is not your hero. It's my hero. And she was an agent for Dr. No. You know what he did? He banged her. He had her sent away to jail. He got what he needed. He's so resourceful. He can't be killed. He can't be stopped. And you know what? When he has to be fucking brutal, he'll be brutal. But when he gets brutalized, he doesn't quit either. Remember when he got the shit beat out of him in Casino Royale and they kept hitting him in the nuts with that fucking rope? He didn't crack.
You mean after he got saved by the fucking bad guy who happened to not kill him? The only reason he's even in the motherfucking sequels is because Mr. White was a dumbass. It didn't say, we appreciate shit. All he had to do was turn to his motherfucking left and shoot James Bond. No more series. We're done. Go home. Thank you.
You've just ended the longest running film franchise ever for no reason but to further your dumb argument that John Matrix in a thong is better than James Bond in 25 movies.
I'm just saying, it only took one movie to save the girl and get away with a daughter and a half black chick. What more do you want? What more do you want?
When everyone talks about Arnold Schwarzenegger's achievements, it's Terminator, Governor, Predator, maybe Commandos in the top 5 because there's Junior and fucking Twins and the Last Action Hero. As much as I like Commando, Commando is not the first thing anyone besides you thinks of when they think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're picking like if you said to me Pierce,
but it's underrated, bro. It's underrated, bro. It's underrated. Everyone that's watched it knows that, especially seeing as how awesome it is. It's an underrated film, and even when they see it, they're like, "Oh my God, this could be Dutch. This could be the Terminator." This same guy, he is who these guys are modeled after. He is the fucking apex predator, no pun intended, in his movie. He only needs one movie. He doesn't need a sequel. You don't care what happens after him. Why? Because he got the job done so well. He got his daughter. He got a half black chick, which I can't help but harp on because that's hard to do in these movies. He fucking got the job done in one movie. Everyone else needed 25 movies. They needed 3 movies. They needed fucking Christian Bale to take up the fucking helm.
Your argument's invalid. James Bond doesn't need 25 movies to get a mission done. Those are 25 missions. John Matrix isn't interesting enough to make another movie. From Dr. No to fucking Spectre, those are all separate missions. It's not like James Bond stuck in the office going, how am I going to stop this? Oh, I'm going to wait till the year 2015 to, complete my mission. It's no. He's on the job right away. And you keep bringing up the half-black chick. I don't even have enough time to list the amount of women James Bond's boned in these movies. In the first one, he sleeps with, Honey Ryder and Miss Taro. Probably 3 women in the first movie and the other one from the beginning. And then it just keeps going on and on. So I'm just saying, to keep going about this half-black chick. Radon Chung's not even that hot. Okay?
What?
I can list you 20 James
She
Bond
is
women.
late 80s hot, bro. She's
And I
late
can list you
80s
20
hot.
Bond women that are hotter than her, and Sarah Connor, and Holly Gennaro. So, if we're going to use the argument of women, be them attractive or not, old or not, whatever, Bond's got that fucking down. That goes with guns and booze and killing and women. Those are the James Bond things. McClane is...
Just like real life, women don't matter though, and that's why the Terminator is.
But they don't matter to Bond either. He uses them up and he leaves. It's not.
Now you're making me like.
You would love him if you watched all the movies. You'd realize, okay, he wants information from this chick. He threatens to break her arm and then slaps her across the bed. Like, it's not like, oh, I need you to help me because we'll be together and we'll be safe. In the second movie, he fucks some woman so well that he gets her to defect. And then the whole movie, she's like, will you fuck me here and do this to me? He's like, night and day, but just tell me about this mission. So, I mean, the dude's got his priorities in check. He's a badass dude.
Do they show any nipples in any of those movies?
There's a lot of nudity in the Bond movies. You just got to watch for it.
But there's actual, like, nipples and areolas, not just, like, side boob?
You can see it in go watch Living Daylights. The girl is used. There's a naked woman used to distract the soldier, and you see her tits for like a second. You can see the one chick through a shower door nude in The Spy Who Loved Me. So,
okay, now we're talking.
If you're looking for nudity, and since they've remastered all the movies in high def, when you watch the credit sequences, there's all kinds of nudity in those. They didn't realize, like, oh shit, people weren't able to see it back in the day. Now you can. So you can see Bush in a PG movie.
Ooh.
Does anyone else have anything to add? I think we've.
I do. McClane is awesome, and all you guys can fuck yourself.
Well, if I had to choose to be one of these people, McClane would be last on my list.
Oh, fuck you.
I want my hair. I want my family to love me if I have a family.
Plus, let's not get into the whole Jai Courtney thing, because if anyone can admit something, fucking Die Hard 5 is by far a lot worse than motherfucking any of the later Terminator movies. I mean, there's no comparison. You have Jai Courtney literally saying, "Oh well, we're McClane. We're hard to kill."
Was Jai Courtney? Jai Courtney was in Gynesis, right? Terminator Gynesis.
Yeah, he was in that too. So Dion, he's in both franchises.
Yeah, and Jeff, which one is worse, Die Hard 5 or Terminator Genesis?
Oh, Die Hard 5 by a mile.
Thank you.
I saw the in theaters. I can never watch Die Hard 5. I could sit through Terminator Genesis again.
So
God,
Nick,
really?
Hey Nick, go fuck yourself, son.
Well, you know what? McClane had 5 movies. How many did John Matrix have?
He had 1. He only needed 1. He got his daughter back. That's it. He didn't need a sequel. That's it. He got his daughter back. He saved her. He got the half black chick. He fucking
as long as he's got his PTSD medication and can feed deer, he's okay. Yeah, you're right.
All I'm saying is he had the best walk-off song of all the movies. I mean, that's, he gets off in a plane and the fucking song goes off and he's like, you want to come back and work for me? No chance. That's it. No sequel. He kills it at the end of the movie. None of those motherfuckers do it.
James, okay, at the end of which Bond movie do you want me to choose to have a better ending? When he's making out with
there
the boat and they're getting towed back to shore?
Or even the song. The songs are some of the songs are awesome in those movies. So
yeah, a good amount of them are good. So like, I'm out to sea with some chicks.
A good amount of them are good. I mean, you can have 100% or you could have 75%.
And it's still more than whatever song is in Commando with those shitty fucking steel drums.
Hey! My music in my movie was the same in 48 Hours. Can you say the same? No.
48 Hours 2 sucks, dude. You know it. If you
wait, wasn't 48 Hours like a really cheap ripoff of Lethal Weapon?
No, 48 Hours came out 5 years before Lethal Weapon.
No, Lethal Weapon came out after.
Oh,
Lethal Weapon wasn't until 87.
Lethal Weapon's superior in every way, Nick. Oh my god, Lethal Weapon's good. They're all
I told you. Giving you right there.
What'd you say, Dustin?
I said Dion sounded so autistic when he was giving the year that. No, it's 1992 or whatever the fuck he said.
Well, when little kid John used to sit on the toilet and read the Lethal Weapon videotape boxes when he was taking a shit because people were watching the TV. In his mind, he was on the toilet looking at the back of the box with Danny Glover and was like, "Oh man, when I'm older, I'm gonna look just like that, and I'll be too old for this shit." And then he shit. Get it? It's a fucking joke.
and yet, the funny thing about that joke is, it's still better than Die Hard 5, Nick, you piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Better than that Commando bullshit and him feeding a goddamn deer that he's gonna kill later.
No, it's not. Fucking Commando. Jeff and I have had many a good...
with him and his daughter. He's totally gonna kill that deer. He's feeding that deer to kill it later. That's what he's doing.
And you know what the best joke of Die Hard 5 is? Fucking best joke of Die Hard 5? He's in the fucking car, and there's this Russian dude, blah, 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 and he goes, "You think I know what you're talking about?" and punches him in the face. That's the joke.
There are 4 movies of good jokes. There's only one of Commando, so...
But it's
because he got the job done, man. At least with Commando, we didn't have to deal with fucking Justin Long running around saying, "Oh God, I have fucking
but
asthma."
in that movie, you have an old guy dealing with technology, and he still wins. With all the computers and shit that happens, it's still an old guy with a fucking gun, and he wins. He fucking wins.
Yeah, Die Hard 4 is pretty good.
I'm not saying that it's not good. Don't, Jeff, whose side are you on? I'm only saying
I'm on my own side for 007. Fuck everything else.
At least with John Matrix, again, he doesn't have to deal with, I gotta fucking. Even so, Die Hard 4, I gotta get my daughter. I gotta get my daughter. Who did it first? Commando. Thank you.
Yeah, but because I'm sure once the first iPhone came out, he was too old to fucking hold one. So whatever. He's still on that hill waiting for his daughter to come back and feeding the same fucking deer.
Look, in a straight up fight, McClane is gonna get his ass beat by John Matrix. But if we're
then come back and kill him.
But then if we're talking about quality of
he's
films,
not.
If we're talking about quality of films, though, I gotta say, Die Hard 1 is better than fucking 90% of the movies we're talking about.
Shut up. Jeff, you're not helping us, man. Whose fucking side are you on right now? You already know Die Hard's a great film. Don't help Nick. He can't help his own argument. He doesn't need your help, man.
First argument, the listeners get to decide this. If it was me deciding it, I'd pick myself because I like James Bond the most.
I'd pick myself too.
Well,
I'd pick myself. Fuck you.
Well, I'm sure you pick a lot of things on yourself, dude. You're a very interesting person. See, these are the best kind of debates to have, though, because a lot of these characters are interchangeable. And
I'm sorry, that first joke was really funny.
What joke?
You're just like, I'm sure you pick a lot of stuff on yourself. I'm just like, touche, I'll give you that one. Man.
Dude, look I love John Matrix, but realistically, he is number 5 or 6 on Schwarzenegger's list. You got the Terminator first, then you got Predator, then you got Total Recall and Running Man characters. So Doug and I don't know what his character's name is in the fucking Running Man. Hauser or something?
Yeah, Hauser is fucking Total Recall, dude. I
thought they were both from that movie. My point is,
actually, no. Actually, they're both dystopian. Well, they're both futures, dystopian probably, and that could work. That could work.
Plus, those other Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, they all lose. Commando, he wins. He outright is the undisputed champion of the Alyssa Milano half-black chick sweepstakes. He fucking wins, man.
He's the only person that entered, too.
Well, technically, you have the dude who literally goes, I don't need a gun, John.
You mean Ben?
He fucking comes on camera. He's the other guy, and he loses. He has to let off some steam.
I don't think he's coming. I think he's gone full retard, sir.
He's gone full retard.
Is it really that different?
Retard. You never go full retard.
Well, you never do go full retard unless you want to get stabbed by a PVC pipe through the chest. Let's look at how all these guys dispose of their villains. Yours is cool, Dion, but man, James Bond's more brutal. He fucking drowns Dr. No and boils him alive. What's he do to Goldfish? Sure. Throws him out a fucking airplane, and he lives most of the time before he dies. He puts a shark bullet in the one dude's mouth and he explodes. He feeds one guy to a shark. The coldest one is when he catches Trevelyan. He's like, for me, England James is like, no, for me. Drops the dude to his death, blows up a satellite thing, and then lands on the dude. So he's not only paralyzed on the ground and in pain, he gets impaled and burned alive.
How about the wheelchair?
What wheelchair?
Does he grab one by a helicopter?
Oh yeah, For Your Eyes Only. Yeah, Blofeld.
Yeah. Blofeld. Thank you.
Yeah. You know what? That's a badass scene too. You're just helping my argument, even though Roger.
Well, no, because I remember that and I was like, you're missing that one. That's a good one.
I try to overlook most of the Roger Moore era because.
As you should.
The Sean Connery James Bond perfectly transitions into Pierce Brosnan. Those two are an extent. Pierce Brosnan is an extension of Sean Connery. I like to imagine that. They're all the same man, but those two are the most similar in tone. When you get over to the Roger Moore era, you got some contrived shit. Dustin, anything else you'd like to say?
I mean, it's the fucking Terminator. He'd whoop all 3 of your guys' asses all at once. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's most iconic role, and he saves humanity. I don't know what else to say. I don't have tits. I don't have jetpacks. I don't have thongs. I don't have male pattern balls. I do, but my character doesn't.
Well,
So I think we can admit that you probably do actually in real life. You probably do have those things.
Dustin, I have one question. You said all the three of us couldn't beat him. Then how come Michael Biehn and Sarah Connor in the first movie could beat him no problem?
Because the one I've been referencing the whole time has been Terminator 2.
Oh, I understand that, but it's the same model. They're all machine. They're supposed to.
It's a different thing, though. It's a different character.
Well, no,
but he's built
the model in part 1 and part 2 are the same, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both T-800s.
But obviously,
he
has different traits because he was reprogrammed. He has the propensity for free will.
And he loses.
Wait, no,
the point of Terminator 2 is. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
No. So what he's saying is somehow humans in the future can program free will into a machine. That's amazing.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dustin, I'm not arguing with what you're saying. All I'm saying is underneath here is the exact same endoskeleton as the first movie, and those things were able to destroy him in 1984. The truck wreck burned off the synthetic skin, then that little pipe bomb that Kyle Reese built blew him apart, and he was just a torso, and then he got smashed by a hydraulic press.
Right, but you can have two twins, and one can be an amazing fighter, and the other one can be a bitch. I mean,
those are two people. We're talking like if I get two Mustangs off the lot at my local Ford dealership, I'm gonna be able to do the same thing. And if I wreck them the same way, they're both gonna kind of get fucked up.
But even so, you have the Terminator in the second one again. He fucking loses. He faces the best villain of all the movies. He beats him. He doesn't kill him. He kills him because Sarah and John distract him. When he faces him in one-on-one combat, he gets the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, he has a fucking reboot.
Not just by the T1. The T1000 is adaptable. It uses different things in its environment. Arnold Schwarzenegger is just getting shoved in the shit. He gets hit by shit. He's probably the worst fighter of all the heroes in our debate.
Yes, because your character would have lasted longer than the T-800 against the T-1000.
He loses 3 times in that fight, and it's a fucking 15-minute fight.
Because in the end, he outlives the T-1000. I'm asking you, how long would your guy?
Yeah. He outlives, but he doesn't kill him though.
He doesn't win.
He shoots the little grenade thing into him. It blows him open, and then he falls into the lava.
He can't even stand. He can't even stand when he shoots him. He has to be pulled up by the gear.
You guys dodging what I'm saying. How long would your guys last against a T-1000?
We're not talking about lasting. We're talking about winning.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't even win though. You wouldn't last long enough to even come close to where someone could distract him and have you win.
Well, even so, Sarah Connor defeats 2 of the Terminators by distraction or by winning. She beats the first one. Even then, your hero is not adaptable. John Matrix is adaptable. McClane is adaptable. Yeah. James Bond is the epitome of being adaptable. The fucking T-800 gets his shit kicked in every fucking movie. In every movie.
Yeah, because the only thing that's different about the T-800 from part 1 and part 2 is the programming. That's it.
Yeah, kind of a big difference.
But underneath it, though, he has the same vulnerability.
Exactly, the exact same vulnerability.
Smashed by him or T-1000, it doesn't matter who.
Well, okay, you brought up T-800. Well, if we know that a pipe bomb and an explosion can kill him in a hydraulic press, like, James Bond's car has that in it, so realistically, you could just get hit by a car and then smashed, and it would destroy the processor in the T-800, and it would end him.
Hell, man!
Or as you're driving up, he just aims a gun at you and with precision pulls the trigger and kills Bond.
He can't though because the Aston Martin's bulletproof. That's in the movie. I'm not making that up to be a dick. That's true. That car is bulletproof. It says it in the movie. All of his cars are. Like he gets shot in the one movie, and the girl goes, "How did we do that?" He's like, "Oh, this modern safety glass," because he can't let her know he's a spy yet. Because he's playing her the whole movie.
Well, we'll let the listeners decide. Listeners, if you've lasted this long, one, you deserve a blowjob, not just a hand job, but a blowjob from Dion. But let us know in the comments.
I think we all know who gives the better blowjobs in this group.
Well, Phil's not here tonight.
Touche.
Or is it Rowdy Loudy? I don't know. That's where he gets the Rowdy name from.
Dust is definitely third on the list of blowjobs of the group.
And Dan will
either Phil or Eric.
And then Dan will rim you, so either way, you're going to come.
But he might pass out before the job's done.
This is gross now. But fun. Dustin, you were saying about letting the listeners decide?
Yeah, so in the comment section, just make sure to let us know who you thought won this debate. And if you guys have a hero of your own that we didn't bring up that you think is superior to ours, make sure to let us know. As always, we will read the best comments on next week's episode. We love hearing from you guys.
I agree 100%.
And 2016 has been a good year, right, guys?
It has. Well, not really.
Well, no, Jeff, I'm sure you've compiled a list of everything that's happened this past half a year. We reached the halfway point through this year. Do you want to start taking us through that?
Sure. This is mainly entertainment because, it's an entertainment show. So I didn't talk about Donald Trump like half of our listeners get freaked out about me talking about. Anyway, so like I said, like you said, we're at the halfway mark. And I have a list of 13 movies. Why 13? Because it's everything I went to see in theaters. I have them ranked. I'm going to read them off, and you guys feel free to chime in and add movies or comment on these. But I'll start at number 13. The shittiest movie I've seen in theaters this year, Hail Caesar. Anybody see it?
Ooh, I did not see it.
I did not see that, but it looked good to me when I saw the trailer. I thought it was at least funny.
Everything you saw good in the trailer was in, like, the last 10 minutes of the movie. Well, no, in the beginning of the movie. It's just a fucking... Like, the whole movie is not like that. It's about communism.
Ew.
And it gets so dumb to the point where they actually jump on a fucking Russian nuclear submarine and Channing Tatum. It's stupid. It's a dumb movie.
What?
The Coen brothers have really lost their shit.
They never had their shit.
Dude, The Big Lebowski is one of the best movies ever made. This is not.
Yeah,
Crazy.
no.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
I get that.
Well, since there's not a lot to say about Hail Caesar besides I didn't like it, and the guy that's in it's playing young Han Solo. I saw Dirty Grandpa. That movie sucked.
Yeah, that was really bad.
A friend of mine apparently really loved that movie. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
You shouldn't see that friend anymore either.
It literally is. If you ever want to see a movie, and there are a few of them where Robert De Niro is, you can watch him cashing a check. It's fucking Dirty Grandpa. He literally did that movie to cash a check and kind of fuck Aubrey Plaza. And the look on his face, that's it. That is fucking it.
You mean like Showtime? That was a check, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was my, before, when we were talking about before on Facebook. I was like, fucking 15 minutes was pretty bad, but I'm just like, Dirty Grandpa is just fucking god damn. I'm angry just talking about it.
Phil
Now,
wanted
was
to
it
go
Aubrey Plaza in a bikini in that, though?
She was, but
Not for
for the
long.
whole movie. You have Zac Efron being like,
in a thong.
He says grandpa so many fucking times. I want him to go back to High School Musical just so I can fuck him in the ass. It's like, shut up.
Wait,
Stop
hold on.
saying that.
Whoa! Hold the show! What
Wait,
did you
Why
say?
do you want him younger so you can fuck him in the ass?
Let's say
a
Dion will only
weapon.
fuck men if they're younger than 18, which I respect.
It's
But
it's a weapon. In this case, my dick
Is it-
in his ass is a weapon, and that movie made me so angry.
That it turns
It's
you
a-
on?
It makes me fucking hard.
I have a hate boner and I'm gonna fuck you, Zac Efron. Okay. This is the most recent movie I've seen in theaters, and it kind of sucked. The Purge election year.
All of
Ooh,
them
I
are
didn't see that.
awful. Jesus
I didn't
Christ.
see it.
No, okay, I've seen every Purge movie in theaters. I liked the second one. The first one's garbage. This one is slightly better than the first, but not by much. The story's retarded. It's very liberal, left-leaning. It's about this white lady savior who's going to save all these minority people.
Of course, she's got to be white.
She is, and all the people she's going to save are black or this Mexican dude who came from Juarez 7 years ago. The only character I gave a shit about was an old black dude named Joe, who fucking dies at the very end of the movie. He survives every fucking thing, but then at the end of the movie he dies, and then it's like in memorial of Joe, and fuck it. That movie was stupid. Joe should have won. Fuck that senator in her ass. I saw Now You See Me 2 in theaters.
Oh, you poor bastard.
I watched that too. I watched that as well.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay. I thought it was better than the first one, and I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
Now, Dan really likes those movies, so he was missing out on being here tonight. Next up was Hardcore Henry. Unique, but not that memorable.
Yeah, I missed that. I wanted to watch that really bad.
Unless you see it in theaters, I would say don't ever watch it. It doesn't have much in the way of a story. It's just,
Okay.
it's really just straight up spectacle, and you got to see it on the big screen.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Then I saw 999. That was a movie. I thought it was supposed to be better, but you had Jesse from Breaking Bad, and he plays the same shitty, useless character with this stupid code of ethics that fucks up somebody else's life that's actually doing something with their life. So, fuck you, Aaron Paul, and your weirdly shaped head.
Well, he also does have a really weirdly shaped head, dude. Like, I noticed that. I'm just like, outside of Breaking Bad, I don't like you.
Inside Breaking Bad, I don't like him. I mean, he was fine in that character. I was fine in that character, but I saw him in what was it?
Speed?
No, what was Central Intelligence?
You watched that movie?
No, he was in that. What was the one with? He was one of the operators for the drones.
Oh,
yeah. I heard about that one. I didn't watch that one.
I saw like half. I fucking watched it online. I was just like, that movie was so fucking boring. I'm just like, and no one's gonna believe that Jesse can fly a fucking drone. I can't believe it. I'm sorry. Get off my fucking screen.
I believe less that Helen Mirren is in charge of the military.
Thank you.
That's the lady from the fucking Yaya Sisterhood or whatever with the fucking naked calendar. You're not a fucking military commander, Helen Mirren. You're hot for an old lady, not military commander.
Ew. Oh, she is so hot as an old lady, but I wouldn't follow her in the battle with a gun in the back of my fucking head.
Well, she's not fat, Dustin, so she still fits your qualifications.
True. But she isn't his sister, so she's at the bottom of the list.
Oh, okay. Well, she's a fine, matured British lady.
Matured British lady.
Speaking of something that's not fine or matured, in the middle of this list is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh my fucking god!
Can you believe that
in the middle?
Yeah, it's in the middle. I reviewed it the night it came out, and you can check that out on our channel. I gave it a 5 out of 10, right down the middle, just okay movie. It's out.
I don't mean to interject, but I literally remember you had watched the movie and you didn't tell me what happened because you knew I was going to go see it. I think the next weekend, and I remember texting you when I got out, and I literally said, I was like, yeah, man, that movie was just okay. And you texted me back. You're like, yep, it was just okay. And that was the extent of our conversation about the movie.
I mean, people love to shit on the DCEU, and rightly so. Their launching point was fucking terrible. Man of Steel, terrible. This movie, just okay. Like, either being so bad you're good makes you memorable, or you're Man of Steel where it's just like, whatever, it wasn't good, I don't remember it. Man, these last two movies were shit, and I don't think Suicide Squad's going to be much better.
See, I have a lot more faith for Suicide Squad because it's not fucking Zack Snyder. But segue for the listeners out there, if you want to hear Jeff, Dan, Nick, and I say the DC Universe, feel free to listen to a previous episode. That being said, Batman vs. Superman, it was so okay, which is a very bad thing in the sense of this conversation.
What did you guys think, Dustin and Nick? What did you guys think?
I'm not a big comic book guy, and I really have gotten to hate these movies. But this one felt like they were trying to shove everything they could into this, and get as much information into your brain as best they could. And I kind of liked it, but it was just like, man, I'll never watch this again because it's so jarring and so much stuff is going on.
Dustin?
I liked the first 2/3 of the film, actually. When I was in there, I was like, man, I kind of regret, what we were doing on here, talking shit about it. And then when the final third came, I was like, oh, that's exactly why we talk shit about it. The whole Doomsday thing just kind of came out of nowhere. It looked like shit. It was way too long. If they would have somehow ended it prior to that, I think it would have been probably a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But, man, that dropped it hard for me.
The moment I realized that I was in for something either bad or average was the opening couple minutes when Bruce Wayne is a child and all of a sudden the bats lift him up. Dan and I look over each other like, what the fuck? And it just began a series of stupid dream sequences and flashbacks and premonitions of the future. You know what? Those types of things don't really work in film, or at least in this film. And it just dropped Batman v Superman low because I love Batman. I wanted it to be fucking awesome. I liked the Nolan trilogy. I loved 2 of the movies.
You loved it, motherfucker. Stop. I don't know why you fight it so much. It bothers me.
I don't want to watch Dark Knight Returns in it, or Dark Knight Rises. It's like, I don't like the beginning. Dustin said he doesn't like the end third of Batman v Superman. I don't like the beginning 2/3 of Dark Knight Rises. I like the ending of it.
I can see that. I mean, that's not totally unforgivable. I mean, and again, I do mean to shit on Batman vs Superman. I totally mean to shit on this movie. But for me, piling on, and again, the whole movie was just like, I was just like so bored. But when fucking the top 3 of DC are fighting Doomsday, and fucking Superman, I'm not making this up, America, he's in the air and he hears thumping and he's just like, what is that? And he looks and it's fucking Lois Lane thumping on concrete because she got trapped in the fucking water. I'm not making this up. And he leaves the fight with like his second most mortal enemy to go save Lois Lane. And they have, what is it, like a fucking 5-minute monologue. She's just like, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And anyone who watches movies, the first thing you think is, go fucking kill Doomsday, you asshole. That ruined the whole...
Why didn't Superman use that ability to find his mom instead of all that other shit? Like, honestly, when Lex and him are on the roof...
I agree.
Why doesn't he just listen for his mom, or, boom, 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 fly around the city at light speed, boom, 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 save his mom, fly back and be like, hey, I got him, Batman, we don't need to fight. End of movie. Like,
or even better yet, the whole movie...
Let's go have a beer.
Yeah!
The whole movie is what? Superman's trying to express, I'm here to help you. But the one part of the movie where it's the most important, him and Batman, he's like, I'm not going to talk to this dude. I'm just going to fucking kill him. Like, the whole movie, when he's in the fucking Senate, is like, I'm here to help you guys. But then Batman, he's just like, if I fucking wanted it, I'd kill you. Then why wouldn't you just fucking kill him? If that's the case, you fucking idiot.
Beyond, like, Nick, you prefaced your statement with, I'm not a big comic book fan. Well, even if you're not a big comic book fan, this movie fails on so many levels. Certain things that are inherent to just Superman in general, that is known as a part of pop culture, like, he can see through shit and do all this stuff. Why doesn't he see the bomb in the fucking Senate building? Why does he let all those people die?
Actually,
it's explained in the rated R cut. I understand that.
Okay, good.
But
even then, Jeff, and I'm just interjecting because I know that you'll agree. You can't retroactively go back and explain something and say, "Hey, we made a rated R cut." It's No, the movie you released doesn't explain that.
You can't. Said what I was gonna say.
Exactly. You can't fucking say, "Oh, we explain it." Fucking 6 months later. No, you were to explain in the first place. That's what we're going off of.
No other movie has ever had an alternate cut released a couple weeks, essentially. Be like, oh, I think those problems you had are in this cut. Well, you've already fucking alienated your audience. It's like if there's like this super great cut of this female Ghostbusters out there. Well, you released the shitty one to wide audiences.
Thank you.
No one's going to give it a second chance. So all the re-releases and re-edits you want to do of Batman v Superman aren't going to do you any good because everyone paid to see the shitty one. So it's like if I mail you a fucking broken, phone case or something. You're not really going to be like, well, I'm going to order from that guy again. Maybe the next one's great. No, you're like, fuck it. I got burned on the first time. Now I'm not going to watch this new and improved one. And it may not even be that improved.
And even so, people are, you brought up, oh, excuse me.
No.
You brought up, oh, shut up. You brought up, oh, I'm not, you can't do that with a movie. You can't go back and fuck that's horrible movie making. You can't say, we're gonna go back, and literally in America, he's not being facetious. No other movie has done that. No other movie, and he said weeks later, fucking it came out. Warner Brothers is like, oh, we're going to have a rated R version that explains more of the movie. No one has done that ever.
And it flopped, and it failed miraculously. And you were bringing up these edits. Here we go. Watchmen, another Zack Snyder film. Watchmen stood on its own in theaters, stands on its own in the director's cut. Yeah, there's more in the director's cut, and there's even more in the ultimate cut, but the previous cuts were fine films. It's not like there's 30 extra minutes that are going to change everything and make more sense. And the thing is, the Batman v Superman edits cut out logical things to tell you, like, oh, the reason all those people died at the Senate, the bomb was in lead casing. Or the reason this happened, Lex Luthor paid this guy off. You need those things in the movie. You don't need the fucking 8-minute fight, and you don't need kryptonite gas, and you don't need a fucking spear, and all that other dumb shit. You don't need to see Batman CrossFit training with a fucking tire and a fucking sledgehammer.
Oh, God.
You need story.
Did you see the
scene? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Agreed. Agreed, Nick. Oh my God is literally the only response you can have to that.
It was the most divisive movie of the year, honestly. And I only gave it just a meh. But there were so many terrible things, and there were a few awesome things. I can't think of that many awesome things besides the opening. The opening was phenomenal. That felt real.
The fight scene for Batman when he goes to save Martha is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, but that's like the most over-bloated, overrated part of that movie. It's like watching the Arkham.
That's literally that's the best I can come up with, man. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
Look, that scene is the Arkham game. If you have the attention span of a 5-year-old and you like video games, that'll be your favorite scene in any movie ever because, oh my God, Batman was snapping necks and fucking people up. Like, whatever. It had cool moments. But Batman's a fucking straight-up murderer. He was flying the Batwing and shooting that guy in the truck, and he blew up. The guy didn't just, like, fall into the water and, get some really big boo-boos like George of the Jungle. No, that motherfucker is dead. Batman has killed people in this movie, and that's kind of Batman's cardinal rule. Like, even in Dark Knight Returns, which is the book this movie's based off of, Batman's like, no guns, and he breaks that guy's fucking shotgun in half when he's on the horse. Zack Snyder, what are you doing? You say you're this big comic book fan, but it's like you didn't read them. You're too lazy to read the books, so you went on Cliff's Notes, and someone fucking spammed the site with bullshit. You read that, and you made it into fact. You're a fucking hack. I hope Justice League is a piece of shit, and it kills your career.
Amen.
I saw The Nice Guys in theaters. Did anyone else see that?
I saw it.
I did not. I wanted to see it so bad I didn't see it.
Nick, what'd you think?
I really liked it. Like, it was this, like, comedy noir thing, and, I mean, Ryan Gosling and, I forget the other guy's name, Jesus Christ.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, were really good together. They were really, really good together. They were hilarious.
I wanted to see Russell Crowe get beat up for breaking Ryan Gosling's arm. Because I liked Ryan Gosling's character. I hated Russell Crowe. I was like, you fucking piece of shit.
Well, I mean, he's basically playing Russell Crowe. Like, he's basically just playing Russell Crowe.
Yeah, and he's going to sail around the world and go port to port. Look, if Russell Crowe broke my arm, I'd stab him in the eyeball.
Yeah, well, plus, just like for me, like, one of my favorite white dudes in the world is Dustin. And anything lower than Dustin is just like, I don't fucking like you. And fucking Russell Crowe in that movie, I'm just like, you're lower than Dustin, man. I don't fucking like you at all, dude.
Dustin, really how do you feel about that?
Hey, I'm that bottom threshold. I'm still within the spectrum.
Hey, at least you're not forgotten. Nick, that little girl actor was pretty solid in that movie for a kid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was really, really solid. I mean, like, just the whole premise of the movie felt like a noir, a old school noir movie. And, just the detectives and the private eye and the era they were in. I think they were in, like, what, the 70s?
Yeah, it was 77.
Yeah, and they were in Hollywood, and I mean, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I would gladly, like, buy that movie, honestly, and have it to watch, like, whenever I wanted to.
I don't have anything bad to say, but there are 5 other movies I like more. And you're going to be surprised at what I liked more. X-Men.
What?
Oh, God.
I like X-Men Apocalypse more than I like The Nice Guys.
Oh, God. I don't know how I feel about that.
Honestly, I didn't realize I put X-Men above it on the list.
You son of a bitch.
X-Men's fine, but I think in reality I would put it lower. X-Men, though, not bad, not great. Better than Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I liked Olivia Munn a lot more than I thought I was going to. That was my biggest thing. But again, fucking... My whole thing is if you have a villain, they have to be a true fucking villain. And Apocalypse was so milk box to me. It was like I was just like, I don't care if you win or lose, dude. I didn't. I really, yeah, man. That's all I got. That's all I got for that movie. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Dustin, have you seen it? Dustin, have you
I
seen it?
did. I liked it all until the very end when Magneto turned face. I didn't really like that.
My problem with all these
No,
X-Men
seriously,
movies
because
is
I legitimately shed tears at 2 points in that movie, and they were for Magneto and his family. And so I was really feeling for him, and I was like, I totally get why he's doing the things he's doing. Like, he is actually partaking in a righteous cause. And then at the end, randomly, he's like, oh, I'm going to switch back for no reason, really.
well, every X-Men movie ends the same way. It's stupid. I'm really burnt out on X-Men movies.
God.
What were you saying, Nick?
I was gonna say, like, the way they make Xavier bald is like really fucking stupid. Like, he's going through the transfer of Apocalypse, and like his hair just starts falling off, and like now he's bald. That's how you explain him being bald all the time.
How he, and this is just for preference, how he loses in the comic books is equally as dumb, so it's not like that was going to be, my whole thing was that was going to be dumb no matter what. And for me, that was the best way they could have done it. They didn't do it when he, really became a super powerful psychic. It just was, for me, I was just like, you know what? It explains it. I'll give you guys that. Fuck you, Bryan Singer, whatever.
I'm ready to move on from Bryan Singer.
He really, after X2, he's really shit the bed, man.
Well,
he really has.
even that, like, they acted like they didn't even know Silverstreak's movie. It was really odd. Like, none of them, like, remembered Silverstreak all of a sudden. I was like, they had him in the last one.
Quicksilver?
Sorry, God.
Because you didn't remember him either.
Right. That's true. I didn't remember him either. I'm just as at fault.
Well, my whole thing is too is like it's a cheap fix that the house blows up and then he runs in and saves everyone. That's just such a cheap fucking move.
It is, but I love those sequences of him. If they could just do a movie of him doing that the whole time, I'd be real happy, honestly.
That would be pretty sweet. I'll give you that.
Yeah, like if they just had a 90-minute movie or a 2-hour movie of him just doing that for that long, I'd be fine with that.
I liked him more than I liked MCU Quicksilver by a mile.
He was way more likable. I don't like Kick-Ass as Quicksilver.
That Kick-Ass Quicksilver has an old wife though, Dion. That might turn you on.
Yeah, didn't he marry the director or something?
Some old lady. Well, Matthew Vaughn directed the movie, so he didn't direct him. But does anyone have anything else they'd like to add about X-Men? Because, yeah.
No.
Oh man, that's pretty much it for me.
All right. What I think was better than X-Men? Keanu. Did anyone else see it?
Yes, I love Keanu.
I didn't see that yet.
I watched all of Key and Peele, and I love, I really do love that show, and watching this movie was just like pretty much almost an extension of that, and I love the movie. I really do.
I've never laughed so hard this year at a movie. God damn, was it when they were at that bar and he's like, "Are you real?" And then all of a sudden it just like fucking tipped the scales and it went crazy balls to the wall funny.
Oh, it did. Oh, it was so good.
When he had to do that fucking backflip.
Yeah, when he did the backflip.
I about shit my pants. I was like, "Oh my god, he did it!" Or when they met Anna Faris.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh my god, Star-Lord's wife is a coke addict.
And then like fucking, like they just shot her and left her there. It's like, oh shit, oh damn, this got dark real quick.
Oh, I loved that movie. Dion, you gotta watch it, dude.
I wanted to. I can't even remember why I didn't see Keanu yet.
Well, you have a family.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Fuck you.
I'll just use that. That's your excuse for almost everything. Oh well, you have a family. It's okay.
Touche.
Here's a movie we all saw, and I think we all liked it. Deadpool.
Yes.
I have the Blu-ray of that happily, and I've watched like the commentary and everything on it. It was so good. I'm so happy. I mean, it took forever to come out, but I think it was really worth it.
Dustin, did you watch it?
I did. We actually saw it in theaters on the day that Charity told me she was pregnant. So my whole initial viewing was kind of skewed because I was thinking of finding the nearest abortion clinic. But
hold up. We're talking about child number 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, because the other two were born like 5 years ago, Dion.
Yeah, I have a sister.
I had to fucking make sure, man. I wanted to say congratulations, and then abortion came out, and I was like, well, never mind, man. Good luck.
No, that's the time it's congratulations worthy is when you go through with something like that.
Yeah, totally, bro. Yeah,
Justin,
for sure.
there's always a set of stairs at the movie theater that you could use in the time of
That's
emergency.
true, and I have a closet full of coat hangers, so we got options.
Yeah. Just use a coat hanger and a drill. You'll be fine.
Jesus, we're fucked up.
No, but definitely, I watched it again. When I didn't have that shit weighing on my mind, and it was good.
I didn't think it was going to be good because you guys have known me for years. I hated Deadpool because the fucking fan base is stupid. And now...
Oh, no. I agree. I mean, whenever I've been to conventions, any conventions, there's always, like, that group. And there's 2 or 3 who are like, who are like Deadpool Simpson, Deadpool Maid, Deadpool Valet. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I hate what Dan and I always have a joke. Let's count the Deadpools that are going to be at this fucking convention. And
oh no, I've played that game. I've played that game before. That's a fun game to play.
Next time you're at a show with me, Nick, we need to play count the Deadpools and take a shot for everyone that's there.
Oh, we will. I'll make a video of that shit. We'll do that.
That'll be on World Class Bullshitters. So, listeners, if you want to see us get wasted counting Deadpools, just subscribe, watch the channel. It'll happen in the future.
Oh, right? It'll definitely happen. Oh, fuck, it'll happen.
So far, does everyone like this list? Name some other movies you saw that came out in 2016. They could be Netflix films, they could be something, but they just had to come out in 2016.
I watched the Netflix film Do Over.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, I watched that, and yeah, it's basically just Adam Sandler and his buddies making a movie again. Just Netflix paid for it, and it's not good at all. I mean, it tries to be heartfelt. It tries to be, good, but there's too much shit going on in it, and too much information that keeps coming up over and over again. It's like, well, he's this guy. Well, this is happening. And this is happening. Then this is happening. It's like, just fucking stop. Just give me a concise story and tell me what the hell's going on.
For me, it was very meh. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was
true.
Bad.
It was that too.
It was very meh. Like you get what the story is, but it tried. What was the movie I was thinking? When I kept watching it, it was Looks That Could Kill, I think is the name of the movie, where the dude's a high school student and becomes a secret agent. That's what that movie reminded me of. It's so very meh, but you get what it's trying to convey. But still, it's still Adam Sandler giving this, maybe he should just do movies and not be in them, because he gives the most half-assed attempt to be a character ever. I mean, and then David Spade.
Shit, he does. Oh my God.
At least Paula Patton was hot.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's the only positive I have. And the opening was pretty funny when they were on the boat. And they got the girls to flash them.
And the whole sausage thing was pretty goddamn funny, too. I'll give him that.
Adam Sandler still has it in him. It's just, I don't know. I liked that movie, That's My Boy. For as shitty as that was, I really liked that movie.
Man. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Because especially when Sandberg gets hit in the throat and he's like, "You okay, guy?" I love that part.
I have not seen that movie. Apparently I need to.
You should watch it, because he lets his kid name himself, and his name's Han Solo Burger. And then he's like, I'm a burger like my father before me, or something at the end. It had some good moments of comedy. That's the last time I had any respect for Adam Sandler, though.
Well, then he has to and then I will admit, the New Kids on the Block tattoo on his back, and their heads are all fucked up, and he's like, "Because I grew out of it," and then Adam Sandler's like, "That's what you wanted." I'm like, that part's really funny.
I was 7. I also would have ice cream and cereal for dinner every night, and you let me. Did he have diabetes or something?
Yeah, he's like, I had child onset diabetes.
Oh my! I gotta watch that movie again. That was funnier than I remember. Or I'm remembering.
I'm telling you, we'll do that when we get. We'll do that when we get drunk on the show.
Deal. We'll do a drunk commentary.
Fuck yeah.
Now, clearly there's other movies on my list, but let's see. I watched a bunch of shit on Netflix that was good. Don't remember it, but I'm trying to stick with this 2016 theme. Stranger Things was a great TV show, Nick.
Oh, yes, it was. It's amazing. We did, and you and me did a podcast about that, and everybody can listen to that on our channel and figure out if we liked it or we hated it.
Yeah. Don't take our word for it here. Take our word for it there.
Exactly.
Dustin, do you have anything that came out this year that you would like to talk about?
I mean, I brought it up before. It was one of the big topics on that podcast that YouTube blocked, but that Love movie, a lot of penetration, a lot of cum shots.
The fucked up part is that video that got cut, no nudity, no penetration, no cum shots.
Yeah,
and it just got cut because of what, you had the word porn in it.
I don't know. I could argue it, but then the thing is, we had that drama with YouTube. Then I uploaded that video that Monday, and then we got like triple the subscribers, so I just stopped caring. Because it's like, hey, you could have that video and gain 10 more subscribers, or you could do this Ghostbusters thing and gain 1,110. So I went for the numbers. I'm sorry, but Dustin, if you would
no,
I can send you that video file.
I don't want it. I hate my voice.
So do I. I hate my own too. Daredevil was great this season. I'm trying to remember what else. This was a weird year, man. I had a lot going on, and the entertainment was not that good to where, it stood out above all the other shit.
No, man, it really wasn't. I mean, Hardcore Henry was something that I really enjoyed. I loved I've seen their movies on YouTube with the first person, action thing going on. Hillary and I really enjoyed that movie. We really did. I loved Hardcore Henry.
Well, back to this list I compiled, a movie that I enjoyed a lot, almost as my favorite movie of the year, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Anyone else watch it?
No, I really wanted to watch that. I really badly wanted to watch that. I kept missing that.
Dustin?
No, I wanted to watch it as well, and by the time I was able to go see it, it was already out of theaters for some reason.
Oh, shit. Well, you should definitely give it a view. It was fucking phenomenal. I didn't review it for the show because I just didn't. But I went out to see it with Dan. It was awesome. There's a lot of tension that's built up throughout this whole movie. Is John Goodman crazy? Is the world really falling apart? You gotta watch it to find out. That's the one thing I'm not gonna do is spoil this movie for you.
I appreciate that.
All I can say is watch this movie by yourselves in a dark room.
Jeff, just get really close to the mic and whisper it into my ear, please. Nobody else will hear you. Is it good or not? Well, what happens? Tell me all the secrets.
Oh, fuck that.
Talk those like emotions. There's your whisper, buddy. No, honestly, you gotta watch it. It's so fucking good. It'll have you on the edge of your seat. The ending's cool. It's a really old school, hard sci-fi movie made in 2016.
Nice.
All the performances are great. If you don't like this movie, I'll be honestly surprised. So
what number are we at on your list?
That was number 2. There's only one movie, in my opinion, that was better than that. And guys, you know what it is at this point.
Civil War, son of a bitch.
You know it. I gave it a 10. I fucking loved that movie. Love it. Anybody else?
Yeah,
it's my favorite, happy comic book movie.
Watchmen's still your favorite downer one?
Yeah, I think they're equal. I think I can't pick one over the other, but to me, they're both the pinnacle of what you can do with a comic book movie.
That's how I feel about
See, for me, it was better than Watchmen. I mean, it had the perfect blend of both. I mean, you have, happy, and then you have a great amount of sad in it, man. It was just so...
No, Watchmen was way darker than this was. Way
darker. Overall, but you have fucking Iron Man saying, he killed my mom. That's fucking super dark. And then, do you remember them? I remember all of them. That movie took a huge turn at the end of the movie. It was fucking incredibly dark.
Well, I mean, those are. I mean, yes, seeing seeing his parents get killed sucked, but then him remembering them, you didn't see any of them. In Watchmen, you just kept seeing people get killed over and over again. They kept showing the heroes dead, through the beginning sequence.
Yeah.
Watchmen was a lot darker than this. Yeah, this was dark.
Again, overall, I'm not going to argue that. My argument isn't that Civil War is darker. That's not.
Okay, all right, sorry.
My point sound as dark though, and that didn't.
No, not as. I'm saying that there are parts of the movie that are very dark, that blend very well with the lighthearted parts of the movie. Watchmen didn't have that. Civil War had, you have a child essentially fighting amongst demigods, and that's a huge part of that movie.
Thor wasn't there. You can't say demigods. They're all.
But again, you have Captain America, you have Iron Man, you have guys who are fucking well versed in combat, and you have Spider-Man who isn't. You have a guy.
But Dion, that's not what makes it dark.
Yes, it is. You have Zemo.
That doesn't make any sense. See, I'm with you about the darkness. All I'm trying to tell you is, Watchmen's never light. Marvel's usually lighter. Then it goes to this. You've never seen it go like that before. That's why, in my opinion, it's like, oh shit, I did not see that coming.
Having Spider-Man and the Winter Soldier in the same scene they're fighting is a great contrast for me. You have a guy who literally has been murdering people for 50 plus years, and he's having a joke with Falcon. Why didn't you do that earlier? That was so funny, but it's so funny because this dude is a stone cold murderer.
Well, if you're just comparing those two films, I found Civil War way more enjoyable than Watchmen. I don't really have the urge to ever really go back and watch Watchmen. I kind of lived through that whole thing where the book was big again, and then this movie, and I watched it a bunch. We analyzed it. I pretty much lived through my Watchmen phase. I know the story. Yeah. There's nothing to add to it. It doesn't lead into anything. It's one story, and if I can see Watchmen on a superficial level, it does not look anywhere near as good as something like Civil War. Even though Civil War is smaller in scale than like Avengers and Avengers 2, Watchmen just doesn't look as good.
Right, but I'm saying as far as the blend of darkness to lightheartedness was done. That's all I'm saying. It's done so well in Civil War. From start to finish, Watchmen is dark. From start to finish, despite the content, Iron Man Avengers is pretty lighthearted. There's a lot of comedy, a lot of lightheartedness. Civil War for me, second, Winter Soldier is the only movie that's very close to it. But those are the only two movies that are pretty, outside their content, pretty fucking dark.
Pretty realistic too. I wouldn't even say
exactly.
Dark. I wouldn't use the word dark. I would use realistic.
I totally would use dark. A dude is fighting a kid, and then
but you're over contextualizing
that.
You got to leave this. Look, Spider-Man being in the movie ain't that big a fucking deal. As far my favorite character is Spider-Man. You got to stop going.
It's a big deal.
It's not even an important thing in the movie itself. That's not even like anything to argue about. Spider-Man's in the movie for money reasons. Yay, it was cool to see Spider-Man. He was only in the movie for about 15 minutes.
is so desperate that he brings in a fucking team.
I swear to God, if it wasn't for this Marvel crossover with Sony, the movie would be exactly the same, minus the Spider-Man scene. You would just have someone else in that. You wouldn't even have that plot point. You would just have that team minus Spider-Man, and you would have made Black Panther more prevalent in the fight. Spider-Man doesn't add anything to the story. He doesn't take away anything to the story. He's there to say, hey, I'm in Marvel now, and that's just a big selling point. That's not a story point.
I don't know. Fucking Spider-Man having, when he's talking to Captain America, he's like, Mr. Stark told me, you're dangerous. That's a huge part. The fact that someone in power can have a huge impact on someone who's so young. For me, that's a huge part of the movie. You have Spider-Man who's essentially vanilla, and he's saying to fucking Captain America, who he knows about. He's Captain America. He fought the Nazis, saying, "Well, you have a different view than me, and it's dangerous. I have to fight you." That's fucking huge.
That sentence is important, but the rest of Spider-Man fighting this Winter Soldier and all this other shit, that's not dark. That's not important to the plot. What it gets serious for is when the villain contemplates suicide at the end. That's the kind of shit where it gets serious, and you're like, wow. None of these other movies end like that. That's when that movie really differentiates itself. And then Black Panther has a full character arc when he's like, you're going to receive justice. You're not going to die here or whatever. And Black Panther saves him so he can face justice. That's the type of shit that makes that movie stand out. Not, Spider-Man shot a web and it was cool because.
And you're not wrong, but that.
I know I'm not wrong.
Right, but that's definitely huge.
Look.
I mean, that's going to affect the next Spider-Man movie.
No, it's not. The thing is. The thing I love about Marvel and the thing I hate about Marvel is that it's good. They're good movies, but they're so corporate that you as a fan know.
Oh no, they are.
They
are fucking PG-13 they're fucking PG-13. So, and they're dumbed down to a level that anybody can watch all of them and understand the entire universe very quickly.
But at
That's
the same time, there's a lot of depth that they have that a lot of DC fans try to ignore or don't understand because it's too smart for them. And that's the argument they made for BVS, which is a garbage argument. That they're not talking about the deeper shit. Like I was saying with Zemo. He's the most effective villain. He didn't have a fucking superhero costume. He didn't have an army. He didn't have anything. But he beat the Avengers. He tore them apart. It'll never be the same again. He's the only guy to do that. Loki couldn't do it. Ultron sucked. The Avengers didn't fight anybody else. But just some dude with the know-how and the will beat the Avengers. That's way cooler than like Thanos beating the Avengers.
And actually, that's scarier than anything else because it's just one guy who knew some shit talking to them, beating them.
And you talk about death compared to Watchmen and stuff, like, there's tons of death in this movie. I don't know why I keep comparing it to Watchmen. Because Dustin said he liked it. But this movie was just so much better than any of these other Marvel Cinematic movies, better than these DC movies, better than anything that came before it. I like Spider-Man 2, but this is probably better. I gotta see it again.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I hate to say about the Marvel movies is that they're all rewatchable, and I mean, they are really good, but...
Fuck you mean you hate to say, motherfucker?
Because
what movie do you like that's not watchable? Please fucking tell me a movie that you like that's not rewatchable. I fucking hate when people say that. There's no motherfucker on the planet. You don't want to rewatch Inception?
It's not something I'm going to watch every year. It's a long
God. But you could rewatch it.
Oh no, you can, but I'm just I'm tired of the comic book stuff. That's just me. I'm tired of it. If this were on and nothing else were on TV, I would watch it. That's what I'm saying.
I could understand if you didn't like it and you were tired of it because they were bad movies, but Marvel's made all good movies.
Your personal preference and you rewatching something and you being, a movie being rewatchable and you wanting, your preference are two different fucking things. It's, is it rewatchable? Fuck yeah, it's rewatchable. It's not a movie.
I'll agree with you entirely. It's rewatchable. But for me personally, to rewatch it has to be that scenario. Nothing else on. It's on cable, and I watch it. I don't
want to rewatch a lot of these movies because of the special nature of them. Like, when I got to see some of these movies, like Doctor Strange is the first one where I go, I'll see it. It's not a big priority. But like when we went to see Civil War, the first Avengers, like that was an event. Like, that was a big... No other film franchise had a fucking build-up like this. Yeah, you had the original Star Wars that was like one story, but these are all separate stories that happen to tie into one bigger story, and then these movies are like payoffs for like 8 years of your life that you've invested into something that's never been done before. So that's why I'm really excited by these types of movies. Yeah, I like comic books, but they're actually solid action movies. They're funny. They're not like corny jokes either. A lot of movies have stupid jokes, like Dirty Grandpa. Aubrey Plaza's jokes were dumb. It's like they're funny because I'm awkwardly staring at
God,
vagina.
She's hit or miss with me, honestly.
She's good looking, but
she is so hot that I'd let her get away with anything.
To me, she's like a less attractive version of Olivia Munn. They look so similar.
That's true.
Olivia Munn's got a better body, a better career, a better face. Like
Olivia has better eyes.
If you're looking at her eyes,
first of all,
you know what? Never mind. I was gonna make a staring at dicks joke, but Dion played that shit out so many fucking times tonight. I won't even go there. I'm sorry.
He played it out like 18 episodes.
The thing is, it's never gonna die. It's in our channel trailer forever. Well, I might re-edit that channel trailer. I haven't. Who did I not put in the trailer? Oh, Loudy's not in the trailer, but he's not on the show tonight either. So, one day.
Yeah, he died on the way to KFC. It's fine.
Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say about Civil War? I gave it a 10 out of 10. Fucking phenomenal. Better than Batman v Superman. Better than all these other Marvel movies. Better than... I can't think of a comic book movie, with the exception of Spider-Man 2, that's on a good day, that I would rather rewatch than Civil War. Even Winter Soldier.
No, I can agree with that.
Winter Soldier was my favorite Marvel until this one.
I'm just glad nobody on this channel is like, Guardians of the Galaxy's the best. Because that movie is good, but not the greatest.
I mean, it's fun. I get it. I mean, it was kind of what they thought it wasn't going to be that good. I really liked it, but,
Oh, I like it too, but online show I watch or review, they're like, Guardians of the Galaxy is the best one. Why? Because it has music you understand or something?
Yeah, like it's got that old music in it. That's really why they love it.
I grew up with a mom that didn't listen to that music, so when I hear it, I go, oh, this is shit I don't even like. I fucking hated the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer because I hate that fucking song, Hooked on a Feeling. It's not like a song where I go, oh man, that reminds me of my parents, or oh, those are good feelings. It's a song I hate. I don't want to listen to it. Stop showing me a fucking trailer. And then the movie opens with that song, and I'm like, fuck. But the movie was awesome. So that's how you can really turn me off from a movie. Make me listen to music I hate. If you put Sweet Child of Mine in a movie, like the real version, not the fucking version from Step Brothers, I ain't gonna like your movie. So you can make me a James Bond movie with Sweet Child of Mine in it, I don't want to listen to it. I'll mute it like I mute the theme song to Spectre.
Oh shit!
Is that the one where the queer sings it?
Yes. Sam Smith?
Yeah.
He is not a good singer, and that is the only Bond song that... Okay, take it back. That is one of 2 Bond songs that I mute. I just skipped the whole credit sequence in that movie. And it's beautiful. It's a great-looking credit sequence, but the song is so garbage that... Nope. Dion, do you have anything else you want to say about this? Because we got some fan mail and some other shit.
Nah, man, you guys pretty much said it.
All right, so let's start our fan mail portion of the show. Since we've grown triple in the last week and a half, which is so fucking bizarre to me, we've had literally thousands of comments. Our one video has 700 and something comments. The other one has 95. The other one has 200. I don't have time to read them all. So from now on, the rule of thumb is this: I will read the comments from each week's episode of World Class Bullshitters. If I see something on another comment that really stands out to me, I'll read it. But normally, if you want something read on the show, watch World Class Bullshitters, comment, subscribe, like all that good shit, and then you can be read on our show. So tonight I'm going to start out a little differently than I normally do. I'm going to start out with Twitter because we actually have some good Twitter feedback. Dion, I don't know if you saw this or not. Did you?
I don't think so.
That's okay. I'll forgive you. So we got a lady that listens to our show. She's liked and subscribed over on YouTube. But on Twitter, she actually talks to us. Her name is Sheena K. Graham, and she has to say a lot about the whole Black Lady Iron Man thing, Riri. But she's on our side. She goes, I'm going to read her 4 tweets real quick. She goes, I'm just stuck on the whole Riri business. Also, black female nerds don't even care about this, trust me. Okay. Then she says, I checked online and they're saying that Marvel flings a black chick into comics but no black female writers. Hashtag diversity. Then she said, what's the point if the target audience lets you What's the point if the target audience tells you to fuck off? Don't tell me it was done to please men, Marvel. And then finally, personally, I really don't care since I don't read the comic books, but why not have Riri be Renee and be an apprentice of Tony Stark? I like her opinions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're very
Is she
good.
attractive?
So, you know what? You be the judge of that, Dustin. I don't know if it's your type.
Just send along a pic. I promise I won't masturbate to it.
She might unsubscribe after listening to this episode.
Take it as a compliment. Jesus Christ.
All right. Here you go. And while you peruse and rub your meat to that, I'm going to read you some comments from the YouTubes. So.
Damn, girl, I got a spot on my face if you need a place to sit. Jeez. I'm serious. Take it as a compliment, though. Don't think I'm creepy. I'm not, I promise.
No, please
He's
think that.
He's totally fucking creepy. He's totally
Yeah,
creepy.
he is very creepy.
Okay, so to the YouTube comments, this one comes from Bricky, and this is all about last week's show, which you can find on our YouTube channel. Shia LaBeouf replacing Meryl Streep in Sophie's Choice, where he has to choose between 2 different versions of himself. I liked it. Dion,
I like it.
Dion, this will be your favorite. This comes from longtime listener Castus, who's had some really great comments in the past. I think Shia LaBeouf should play every character from The Room. That way we can have a hot Shia LaBeouf on Shia LaBeouf sex action. I'm a half-black guy, and I just like stealing all the white men's comic books, unless they do it like Spider-Man, where there's a Miles and a Peter. That way I can read the comics and ignore the Miles comics if I want to. Well, I ignore the Miles comics because he's a fuck. Now, the next comment is a 3-part comment, and it's a great conversation between 3 listeners. First comes from Matt Allen. He says, I'm just waiting for the inevitable and hearing in the news about someone getting run over while playing that shitty Pokemon Go game.
Oh God.
Odds for President says it'll be the next Flappy Bird. It'll get deleted soon because of retarded kids getting hit by cars and people robbing using the app. Okay. And then Anna B comments with, well, there are 2 guys who fell into a river and some people got robbed. Also, apparently it's racist. What the fuck? Now, speaking of Anna B, this is the woman that wanted the hand job, Dion.
Oh yeah.
This is probably the best comment I've ever read. It says, the whole silent majority versus vocal minority thing. And unfortunately, most of today's press panders to the minority, probably because they cry and bitch the most. But they don't support many of the games, movies, comics, etc. they complain about. So it boggles my mind why companies like Marvel ignore their fan bases who actually buy their shit in favor of feminists/SJWs. That is basically the entire premise of our fucking channel, boiled down into one paragraph.
Deanne, when you give her a hand job, can someone videotape that for me? Because she sounds smart.
I'll do it. I'll take the bullet on that and I'll videotape it.
Deal done.
I want to be present.
I'll send you a copy. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
It'll be on WrestleMania. It'll be on WrestleMania weekend. So Dustin, you have to show up.
What an awkward week that'll be.
Wait, will that be at the beginning or the end? Like, how's that gonna work?
Choose your own adventure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and speaking of hand jobs, Dion, Todd Ellis asks, if I subscribe, unsubscribe, then resubscribe, do I get multiple hand jobs, Dion?
Well, if I see your name once, then see it again, and then don't see it, and then see it again, yes.
He just wants to play with your balls, buddy. Now, this is a comment I forgot to read a while ago. I'm only going to read half of it because it's no longer relevant, but I told the guy I'd read it, so I'm a man of my word. This comes from Drew Hughes. He says, I believe the new DeLoreans are having 350 to 375 horsepower engines put in them, so just a little bit faster. I believe a regular DeLorean can go a little over 100 miles per hour. That's what people who own them have said. Well, sir, according to Back to the Future lore, and I mean behind the scenes, not the film, the creators of the movie had to paint the 95 mile an hour number on the speedometer because the real car goes 85. So maybe somebody turbocharged their DeLorean, but in real life it's a piece of shit car.
Or you just fucking got on the internet and fucking lied, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Now,
Deanne, keep that up and I'm going to face fuck you with my fist, you faggot.
Don't threaten me with a good time, you son of a bitch.
I just wanted to throw an alliteration out.
Speaking of shit, Nick, instead of closing it out, would you like to quickly tell the listeners about the Taylor Swift Kanye West fiasco? Because it involves 3 people we all hate and 1 we jerk off to.
Yeah, basically.
You guys jerk off to Kanye
Wait,
too?
who's
Choose your own adventure!
Basically, what happened Monday is that Kanye West released a song that referred to Taylor Swift as that bitch, and she got real pissed about it because she's white and she's blonde and she's famous. And she's like, oh, I never cleared it. I never said it was okay with Kanye, and this and the other. And then Kim Kardashian released a video, I guess that she recorded in studio or that somebody recorded in studio of him having a conversation with her and clearing the whole thing with her. Now, once this video was released, there was a big controversy saying that since the call was recorded, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian could be at fault because if it's recorded in California, both parties have to be notified that it's being recorded in order for it to be legal. In New York, only one party has to be notified that it's recorded in order for it to be legal. But lawyers, I think it was like the next day, lawyers got on it, and some experts said, chimed in and gave their 2 cents, and said that since he said, you're on speakerphone, and everybody else in the studio was talking to her as well, she knew she was being heard, and even though it was recorded by a third party by a camera and not recorded like on a tape or whatever, it's fine, it's okay. So she has no basis for legal action or anything like that.
So she's just a garbage human being that's been caught lying?
Yeah. Actually, when she released her statement on her iPhone, you saw like it was the notepad thing, but she had like a search function on it, which means it looked like she had manufactured that paragraph already. Like she had it ready to go as soon as this thing hit.
Well, I didn't like her already, but now I like her even less.
I never fucking liked her. I always thought she was a piece. They're all three pieces of shit. They all deserve to be put in a rocket and sent to the fucking sun.
Well, I like Kim Kardashian's body. Can we keep that part? I guess not.
Yeah, we can. That's fine.
Okay. Cool.
But other than that, yeah, that whole thing exploded for about 24 hours and then it died down immediately. And I was like, okay, good. There's no legal action. There's no anything like that. Somebody just fucked up and didn't cross the T's or dot the I's, pretty much.
We used to have a train wreck of the week. I thought that'd be a nice send up to a classic segment that has died. And speaking of dying, the eternal rest, it's time to put this baby to bed. So, this has been episode 34 of World Class Bullshitters. Every Thursday night, we take a dump on the world of pop culture. If you like this show, give this a like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you want to get in contact with the show, you can shoot us an email at worldclassbs@mail.com. The best mail.
.cam.
Thank you, Porky. Or Twitter, using hashtag WCBS. Or join our Facebook group, the official World Class Bullshitters fan page. Only 3 people have joined out of the 1,630 that subscribe to this channel. And there's a good chance that more than half of you have a Facebook. So if you'd like to suggest topics for the show or just talk to us, you can. Because we got a couple guys over there named Ronaldo and Timothy who are contributing daily. Good job, guys. We appreciate it. We love the support. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add before we shut it down?
No.
No, man, I'm fresh out.
All right, that's a rare occasion that you have nothing left to say. I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I'm the man with the plan and the original tan, and whenever you're giving your girl the best, make sure you give her the freshest of semen.
That makes no sense. Because you always do the freshest of semen, because you're actively coming. It's not like you have a reserve in your asshole that you just pop out and put in her.
Right, but whenever you're fucking whacking it to fucking porn, you'll notice that sometimes it's all white, sometimes it's a little bit more clear in there than white. And that clear stuff is the freshest of semen.
You're stealing my pervert gimmick. God damn it.
Well, I've learned a lot tonight.
Well, I'm your friendly neighborhood Samoa, and I'm signing off.
My name is not Dustin McNeese. Jesus loves you, Trump 2016.
You know, when I have a child one day, that inevitably sad day, I'm going to name my child Jesus loves you, Trump 2016. All in caps.
Yep.
And when someone doesn't spell it all in caps, I'm going to say, you spelled my kid's name wrong, you faggot. What is your problem? Why do you hate my life choices? I have the freedom of speech. And all this other bullshit that everyone else fucking cries for. This has been World Class Bullshitters, and I'll see you next week.
See you in hell.